Hello, Dave. Today is Saturday, 26th of March, 2022. I am the Bro 9000, and I trust you are all functioning well today. Today, we are discussing the masterpiece that is Jaws, starring the great Roy Schneider. Or is it Scheider? Hello, everybody. It's going to be a cozy one tonight. So I will just say hello. Hope you're okay. We'll start as we mean to go along. So we'll just get the guests out. I think we should. So, okay. First up, he's the jester from Leicester. Watch out, War and Peace. He's writing a Star Wars book, don't you know? It's the novelist himself and the digital artisan. It's Mr. Swapshop.
Yeah, hey, you all right?
I'm good. I gave you a little plug there. You okay, mate?
Yes, thank you very much for the promotion. I'm not bad. Thank you very much. Yeah, I was just literally typing before I got on the show, so I've been doing a bit of work.
Same here. Let's just finish this show.
Oof, yeah, right down to the line, eh?
Do you want to throw your link in the chat for the digital artisan stuff so peeps can have a look? I think you should.
The website link up there, yeah. Why
okay. So you're good. It's been a while, my friend. Work going okay?
Yeah, not bad. Obviously, I was working last weekend, but I'm good. I'm glad to be back on again. Talking about
we've missed you, mate.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say. I missed being on. I really missed being on. The discussion last week was great. I was listening to it on my headphones, and I was talking back, but no one could hear me, obviously. But I'm glad to be able to do it this week with you guys. So
you are one of the founding members. Don't forget, Matthew.
It was just over a year ago, wasn't it? Something like that.
Oh yes, Mr. Doomcock.
Yeah,
if you remember.
Indeed.
So all stems from Doomcock. Hail Doomcock. Yeah. So you ready for this yet?
I am. Let's get the next one out.
Okay, as I said, boys and girls, it's going to be an intimate one today. So already, last but not least, he is the wise elder of the channel, the writer, the portal, the director, and paid up member of the Sausages Appreciation Society. He is the great mega geek himself, Ian Steven Spielberg Diaz.
Hello, everybody. It's nice to it's nice to be here, I guess.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you good, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, just raring to go, I guess, with this with Jaws, one of my favorite films of all time.
Spielberg, isn't it?
Yeah, Spielberg at his best. When he's very young, wasn't he? We made this film.
Yes. So. Do you want to see the trailer?
I guess.
Matthew, do you want to see the trailer?
Yeah, I'd like to see it. Go on.
Okay, right. I'll probably get a copyright strike, but it doesn't really affect. Personally, I'm not bothered. So, it is. This trailer is old school, boys and girls. So, it's 3 minutes long. Can you believe it?
3 minutes long?
Yeah, 3 minutes. So, we will talk Jaws on the other end of this.
Nice.
There is a creature alive today who has survived millions of years of evolution without change, without passion, and without logic. It lives to kill. A mindless eating machine. It will attack and devour anything. It is as if God created the devil and gave him jaws. This is Universal's extraordinary motion picture version of Peter Benchley's best-selling novel, Jaws.
I just found out that a girl got killed here last week, and you knew it. You knew there was a shark out there. You knew it was dangerous, but you let people go swimming anyway.
Did you see that?
It's all psychological. You yell barracuda. Everybody says, huh? What? You yell shark. We've got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July.
Is it true that most people get attacked by sharks in 3 feet of water, about 10 feet from the beach?
Yeah. What we are dealing with here is a perfect engine, an eating machine.
We're not only going to have to close the beach, we're going to have to hire somebody to kill the shark.
Bad fish. But I'll catch him and kill him.
Did you hear your father? Out of the water now!
This shark, swallow you whole.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
That's a 20-footer.
25. 3 tons on him.
Hurry up, he's coming straight for us. Don't screw it up now. Don't wait for me. Now! Shoot! What's he tell you? Give him room! I can't! He's trying to run! Oh! Cut it quick! I can't hold it! Hurry! Break it up! Brody! Everybody out of the water!
None of man's fantasies of evil can compare with the reality of Jaws. Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss, Jaws. See it before you go swimming.
See it before you go swimming.
Well, asleep for that so long.
Whereas nowadays it'd be about 5 seconds long, wouldn't it? With lots of strobing lens flares.
Yeah, loads of fast cuts and a little mini trailer of the trailer before the trailer.
Yeah.
That was proper old school, wasn't it, gentlemen?
That was. You could really see how different, trailers were back then in the 70s. You've seen the original Star Wars trailer as well, man. It's like
Yeah, it's terrible.
style. Yeah, it is. Before they kind of got into their stride, wasn't it, Hollywood?
Yes, some of the guys in the chat were just saying how great the voiceover was, like the menacing voiceover.
Yeah, it was. That was really great. Yeah.
I remember seeing the advert on TV, and all it had was that bit where it says "Don't wait for me," and it's a 20-footer, a 25, and that's the only bit that it had in the TV trailer. I remember that when it was out. So interesting.
Okay, shall I we'll quickly do the blurb and then we'll just get into it, guys. So, Jaws 1975, released December 26th, Boxing Day, 1975 in the UK. 2 hours, 4 minutes. Certificate A, directed by Steven Spielberg. Writers Peter Benchley, Carl Gottlieb or Gottlieb. Screenplay. Music by the great John Williams. Produced by David Brown. Produced Richard D. Zanuck. These older films, as I said here, just 2 people producing this, whereas as now you have about 75 million producers. Starring the great Roy Scheider as Quint, Roy Scheider as Brody, Robert Shaw as Quint, Richard Dreyfuss as Hooper. Budget $7 million gross, get this, for 1975 stroke 1976. $471,411,000. That is a lot of money.
Nothing compared to what Star Wars made, though, or Titanic, or because of inflation, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Still not bad for a shark flick, though, is it?
So it was the very first summer blockbuster. the very first. So you got to give it that, haven't you? So
Yeah. Okay. So Matthew, what was your first time, or your first what was the first time you went to see Jaws? Your feelings about the film, memories,
My
etc.
initial time I saw it was I was about 9, I think, 8 or 9. It was on TV, and it was probably a bit too young to watch that movie. But not that it was particularly adult a movie, but I think it might have been the first time it was shown on TV. So it was kind of an event back then when a lot of people hadn't already seen it, especially kids. It was more adults that went to see it at its original cinematic release, and everyone else had just heard about it, or seen clips of it, or they knew that it was about a shark killing people. And of course, the movie had a great reputation, but just the sight of the movie poster and the mention of the title, everyone knew what you were talking about immediately, even if you'd never seen it. And it was this ominous image this film had, even if you'd never seen it. You thought, oh my God, this is going to be shocking. I'm scared of sharks already, but to see a shark constantly killing people, this is going to be horrific. Oh my God. I was 8 years old. Yeah, let me at it. And everyone was, because we saw it coming like days ahead in the papers. It's going to be on this night of the week, and it was a school night as well. So everyone sort of sat down to watch it. I think it might have been Wednesday or Thursday night or something. And yeah, we were all dead excited because we get to see a grown-up movie with scary bits in it and stuff. So we were all really really hyped to watch this film. And I don't know if it was cut or anything for the TV, but it was.
I don't think it was.
It was frightening enough, to be honest. And for an 8-year-old, man, that was really, really, pushing it. But everyone, the next day at school, everyone was talking about this. It was all day. It was all we talked about was Jaws, and these amazing, and the amazing sequences on it. It's like, oh, that bit where the guy comes out of the boat underwater. Oh my God, that really got me. So, yeah. I was drinking red pop at the time, and it surprised me so much it came out of my nose. Things like that. And it was, just one of those moments, those pop culture moments that you remember when you're a kid that you never forget. And I suppose anyone that saw this film for the first time, it's going to be a memorable experience that they'll never forget, no matter where it was.
I'll agree with that.
But before I was 8 years old, I only knew about it when I was 3, maybe 4 years old. But I think that was when Jaws 2 was on release. So I don't know. I remember seeing adverts on TV for trailers for Jaws 2 when I was really, really young, because I was running around my cousin's house, shouting, jumping on sofas, shouting, trying to scare my other relatives, shouting, "I'm Jaws 2 and I'm going to eat your bum," or something like that. And it was like, as a 3-year-old, that's like you run around, you just want other kids to, scream and, running away from you. So I was trying to figure out what my first earliest memory of Jaws was, and that was probably it. When I was a kid, I'd seen a trailer, but I didn't actually see this movie until a good few years later. And it was, I was just glued to the movie for the entirety of the film. And as an 8-year-old, I think it's a really good age to watch this movie.
I agree with that.
I don't know about now. It's probably everyone's a bit too sensitive these days. But back then, that was probably a really good age to watch it. And I've only seen it about sort of 2 or 3 times since, because it's such a memorable movie. I kind of don't need to refresh my memory of it, if you know what I mean.
Before I go to Ian, I'll say my first memories were I was probably Ian. We can hear you eating, by the way. The chat. Naughty.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm Jaws. I'm eating.
Yeah, but people are aware. Yes, it was in the local working men's club in the village. Right, get this right in the 70s. They used to put on a film every Thursday night with a big cine projector, and it was as close to getting a recent release as possible. And they would allow anybody to come in there was no age restriction. You just basically turned up, paid your quid or whatever it is to get in. Bear in mind, this would have been 1976 or 77, something like that. So I'm only like a kid of about 7 or 8, and they've got Jaws. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
It was what gets me was the leg of the guy, the leg, and you know, the head that pops out. Bear with me in the chat. Okay, Mephisto. Hello, Mephisto. You're not spoiling it, mate.
And Gardner.
Yeah, it was the head coming out the boat. Fucking hell.
I know that scared everyone that I know. Everyone.
That was a shot that was added, wasn't it? After the film had finished. Yeah,
Oh, was
a
it?
shot that was added. Yeah. So basically Spielberg watched the film with an audience before it was released. And he sat there and he realized that there was one more scream he could do. So he begged Universal to do one more shot. And Universal said no. So he took some of his own money and went to the Universal lot and the tank that they had there, and he shot that scene.
Oh wow!
With the head coming out and stuff, because he said he knew that was what was missing from that scene. So they shot it. So there you go.
I will quickly just say, Swapper's his link for his artwork store is on the screen, so check it out, boys and girls. So, Ian, first memories of Jaws.
Okay, so I saw it when it was re-released in the cinema, and I can't remember how old I was. I think it was 11 or 10 or whatever it was, and it was an A. And it was in those days when they showed films, they used to show them with another film, so you get a double bill. And in those days, you guys probably don't. You guys are too young to remember this. In those days, you can go into the cinema and you can stay in there all day, so you can watch a film and then watch the other film, and then it will roll on, go backwards. So you'll watch the first film again. So people used to come in halfway through the movie because they knew it was going to play again, and stay there to see the beginning of the film. And so I went to see Jaws. I think it was with my brother, and I think it was with my dad. It did scare the hell out of me, and I was just sitting on the cinema chair with my legs up. Didn't want to put my legs down, thinking that Jaws would bite my legs off.
You know, I was like that when I used to watch, because there used to be loads of ant movies in the 70s and 80s on TV with people getting eaten by ants all the time. I remember that a lot.
Spider movies,
and that used to get me. And I used to pull my feet up off the floor and just hug my knees, just in case anything would get me from under the sofa. I know exactly what you mean.
And I think I was very young. And I was so scared of the film, it fascinated me. And I brought the books. 2 films fascinated me when I was young, very young. One was The Exorcist, which my dad dragged me to see when I was 15. He knew the guy at the cinema, so he dragged me and my brother to see it. And we were really young. Everybody else were adults when we went to The Exorcist. And it was the same thing with Jaws. He dragged us to see Jaws. But I was fascinated by both films, and I began to save up money to buy the novel of Jaws, and I read Jaws because I don't like reading books, and I thought I'd read that, and I read it, and it was a huge slog for me.
Wow.
Because I'm not very good at reading books. Halfway down a page, I'm thinking of something else, so I had to keep going. I'm determined to finish it. Very, very different to the movie, the novel, extremely different. You wouldn't like the characters if you read for the thing. So, but that was my first experience.
How was the difference?
Well, basically, Hooper had an affair with Brody's wife.
What?
Yeah, in the book.
Wow.
And that was the major change. One of the major changes, and also Hooper died. He got killed by the shark, and also they drowned the shark. They didn't blow it up in the end of the novel. So it's very, very different, and you can see why Spielberg changed it to try and fit into a pattern of likability. But that was my first experience watching it in the cinema, and then I watched it on TV. But the experience that I can never ever forget was my dad was such a fan of Jaws. My dad's a Catholic and he believes in God and stuff like that. I remember he was talking to a parish priest from our church named Father Correct, and he convinced Father Correct to come and see Jaws on VHS, and he came to see Jaws and one Saturday, and he was so tense he had to take his collar off. He took his collar off, he had the collar, he took it off. He was so tense.
Collar, Jesus.
Yeah, and then after the film, he couldn't say, he didn't know what to say. He was like, that is the best film I've ever seen in my entire life, he was saying. So yeah, it was incredible. But that and the actual film. So, and then, I saw it again and again, and I realized, because I saw Close Encounters, and then I went back to see Jaws again, and I realized the genius of Spielberg, and obviously the rest is history. I tried, fine to still be noticed as a director, but that's my memories of Jaws.
Jaws is so good it makes a priest take his collar off. In the chat, I was thinking this: how do you drag
it back?
Drown a shark. I can't. I think I can't remember what happened at the end of the novel, but did they take water off or something? I can't remember. But they drowned it. They drowned the shark. That's how it died.
Yeah, I think you can drag them backwards, and their gills take water in the wrong way or something like that. And you can do it. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's how they do it, but yeah, in the book. But that's one way of doing it. You have to keep sharks swimming for them to stay processing water through their system. Otherwise, they die. So they have to keep moving.
The thing is, though, with Jaws, I've read so much stuff on Jaws. I know the film like the back of my hand. I know Spielberg ran away after the film had finished. I know he ran away because everyone was angry with him because he had pushed everyone so hard, and he was trying to prove himself as well. So he, towards the end of the film, he ran away because he knew that the crew was going to lynch him.
Wow.
Yeah. And Spielberg, right? So everybody was saying to him so basically Spielberg's like this. When he made Duel, the studio was saying to him, shoot the car scenes in the studio with back projection. And Spielberg was like, no, because if I do that, nobody would believe it. Right? The actual tension will be dispersed because it's back projection. Yeah. And it's the same thing with Jaws. Everybody was saying to Spielberg, shoot it in a universal tank. And he was like, fuck no, because nobody would believe it. No. And everybody had a go at him because when they were at Martha's Vineyard and they spent so much time trying to get that shark to work, and everyone was against him, from Richard Dreyfuss to Roy Schneider, everyone. And Spielberg had to keep his cool and kept trying to get the crew to do. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember. He was like 25, 20, and everybody called him a kid. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what's this kid doing? This film's going to be a flop.
History, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And in the end, he achieved a miracle.
Yeah, $471 million of miracle. Yeah. Mephisto in the chat, I believe you turn it upside down. Mr. Angel, by holding him still, large sharks need a constant flow of oxygenized water through their gills. Then Mephisto, or you stop it using its fins. I think the chat is coming through for us tonight, don't you?
I can't remember how they killed it.
Ploxord, hail, stop flow of fresh water over the gills. Look who's here, everybody. Dalek451. Hello, friend. Evening, Mr. Brown. You are finally talking about a truly classic film that I've seen lots of times. This will be a good stream. Every stream is a good stream. Okay, so shall we proceed and go through the stills? So that's the poster.
Good poster.
Classic,
it is.
Timeless. Much imitated image.
No messing about with that one, is there?
No.
It's horrific, really, isn't it? You're looking at it, you go, God.
It is. Here you go, Ian. Old school.
Old school Universal. Excellent. And so, do you know the story behind this one? So, when they were making the film, Robert Shaw didn't really like Richard Dreyfuss, and they argued a lot because there was long periods of time when they weren't shooting and were waiting for the shark to work, and they were just sitting in that boat you know, and next to the shore and stuff like that. So Robert Shaw would take the piss out of Richard Dreyfuss because Richard Dreyfuss is very old school. And then one day, actually, they did this in the play. The Shark Is Not Working. They had a play in the West End, which I went to see. Anyway, so what happened was that all the agents was arguing with the studio, saying they want Roy Schneider's agent wanted his name first. Same thing with Richard Dreyfuss, and same thing with Robert Shaw. And then while they were sitting in the boat, Robert Shaw got a message from his agent, and they showed how it was going to be laid out. The first frame was going to be laid out with the credits, and Robert Shaw was over the moon. Richard Dreyfuss was pissed off. Roy Schneider didn't give a shit because he thought the film was going to flop. But Robert Shaw was just kept taking the piss out of Richard Dreyfuss because his name was above the rest of them.
Yeah,
but quite rightly so, because Robert Shaw was a huge star
massive,
in those days. Yeah. But Richard Dreyfuss was pissed, definitely pissed. But yeah,
Dreyfuss was Dreyfuss a big star? He wasn't.
He wasn't. No, he wasn't. He wasn't. He. I think the movies he did American Graffiti.
Yeah.
And he did. I can't remember the other movie he did before it. Say his reason was just to keep working, and they and he got offered this part in Jaws, and he took it without knowing what it was really all about. But he's very method. You know, he would sit on the floor and try and get something, a feeling, before he would stand up and say his lines. Do you know what I mean? Robert Shaw hated that. He was like, "No, you're an idiot, kid. Why don't you just say your lines?" Do you know what I mean? So there you go.
Mephisto in the chat. Yeah, apparently they didn't like each other, but it made for memorable performances for both actors. Yeah.
Sorry, I think I carried on too long there. Go anyway.
That's fine, mate. I will say the typography is a bit iffy, but anyway, moving on. So
when they used to do it with real letters and stick them on black,
they did. I will just say, Roy. I always want to say Schneider for some reason, but Roy Scheider is one of my favorite actors.
Oh yes,
he's brilliant.
I just think Roy Scheider is fantastic.
Yeah, he is.
Any opportunity to speak about the man, thumbs up from me.
I've never seen him ever have a bad performance. He's always believable in me.
It's just brilliant.
Yeah, effortless, absolutely effortless.
So we go logo. Don't forget, this has got the music going. Mighty John Williams.
Yeah, what a genius.
I will say, listening to this tonight, watching this tonight, I've not seen Jaws for a long time. Maybe 25 years at least. And if you just listen to the music score, it's fucking Star Wars.
Star Wars. No, it's not.
It is. There's.
I don't think so. It's Jaws. The soundtrack's very different to Star Wars. Very, very different.
The main theme, yes, but all the of incidental motifs.
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, you had the theme for Amity. You had there was a lot of themes in this, and it sounds nothing like Star Wars. I've got the soundtrack.
Maybe he's just got a particular style which kind of goes through his entire body of work. But yeah, I can hear it.
He does have a style, but he's very good at creating themes. And there's not one theme in Jaws. There's loads of them.
Yeah.
So
John Williams is probably the best. The best.
Yeah, he is the best.
The best.
Full stop.
If there's going to be one highlight from the up and coming Obi-Wan series, it will be the John Williams score. Other than that,
yeah. Well, we'll see, right?
He did the score for The Rise of Skywalker, so what does that mean?
I didn't think much of that score either. I mean, yes, it had the Star Wars obviously stuff and stuff like that, but it wasn't as memorable as Empire Strikes Back or Return to the Jedi. Do you know what I mean?
Romeo Tango November Zulu. Always a mouthful to say that. My personal favourite John Williams piece of music has been, and you know what, I'm going to agree with this, mate. Superman.
Oh, yes.
When I saw it in 1978.
Me and my mate used to
Superman's fantastic.
Me and my mate used to ride our bikes around singing the theme tunes for like favorite movies in the 70s, right? And Superman was one of them. But then we, for some reason, end up warping our recital of the theme tune into the Dallas theme tune. And then we'd get confused and end up like singing Dallas and then go, no, that's wrong. We've got to go back. No, it's not Superman. So they were so interchangeable. I tell you what, if anyone knows what the Dallas soundtrack sounds like, sing it to yourself in your head.
Gerald Himmel.
And that, I tell you what, that mixes very well. You're a DJ. That mixes very well into the.
Yeah, probably be in the same key. Probably. I would just say to Romeo. I think it's the not the actual Superman theme, which is amazing. I think the best piece I've said this to Ian before. I think the best piece of Williams' music was I think it's the Krypton theme. I think it's the second track on the.
It's after. Yes, after the beginning credits.
That the Krypton theme is the best thing Williams has ever done, in my opinion.
A lot of people don't realise
incredible.
That the Superman theme that John Williams did, it spells out Superman.
It does. Well, it's like almost like lyrically, doesn't it? But it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. That was deliberate, apparently.
I think we need to do Superman at some point. It'd be rude not to. So okay, so Jaws.
Jaws.
Beach party.
Yeah. I'm not drunk.
Yeah, that was the 70s. You can judge it from
Chrissy.
Yeah.
She gets eaten by the shark.
Yeah. We will, mate. We'll do Superman. Long overdue.
So the photographer. So I've got this on Blu-ray. When you see the new Blu-ray version of Jaws, it looks fantastic, especially this scene in the beginning with the fire in the middle, and it's just the way it should have been seen in the cinema and on VHS and stuff like that. So if anyone's thinking of getting Jaws, I recommend the Blu-ray version, the new Blu-ray version. They've done a great job on it.
So what you're saying is on the Blu-ray, it's better than me watching Jaws in a working men's club in the 70s.
Absolutely.
With a cine projector full of smoke.
Yeah.
So it's better than that.
The people walking backwards and forwards like collecting drinks, yeah.
Right.
I remember I went to see Scanners in a Flea Pit cinema. Halfway through the film, they started speaking French. What? And I thought after the film, I thought that was part of the film, and I remember seeing it on VHS, and I was like, "Where's that French bit?" Apparently, when I went to see it, obviously they got a really crappy print halfway through. Someone spliced in the French version through it. Yeah,
that was the early '80s version of a Korean movie download screener or whatever.
Yeah.
The great Michael Ironside in that film. Mephisto, yes. John Barry, amazing.
Yeah, he's another great composer. But if you're talking about success as an indicator of how great somebody is, you can't beat Spielberg and Williams at all, because their success eclipses everyone in their category, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, so many YouTube videos on the greatness of John Williams just amazing. Okay, so Chris is going for a swim.
Naked.
I agree with Dalek 451.
I was just going to say that. Yes, shapely girl as well.
I'll really go for the 70s blonde beach girl.
Yeah. Well done, Dalek. We did spot that, mate. So yeah, agreed.
Didn't need air back then.
Yeah. This looks like it would have been shot during the day, but obviously got your night filter things on. Is that correct, Ian?
It's they kind of tried to catch it when the sun was going down in golden hour, But for certain scenes, like when she runs into it, they put a filter on. I mean, it was dark, but it wasn't that dark. So otherwise, if it was really truly dark, then you wouldn't have got anything. So they just kind of waited for a golden hour and shot it then, basically.
Golden hour. I thought you
Yeah.
said something else then. Okay, so
What did you think I said?
golden shower.
They're waiting for a
It's a golden shower.
Man, those guys were crazy back then.
Shows where my dirty little mind's at. So okay, so Chrissy's swimming, and you've got the music, and then she gets hit by the. Well, we don't know it's a shark, do we?
I remember the way they described this in the novel. She feels something on her knee, and she reaches down to try and hold her knee.
Yeah.
But there's nothing there. All it is just this bone with flesh. And she feels the bone. I remember that was in the book. That was the first thing I read. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mephisto, according to the special features on Jaws, she felt like she was having her leg torn off for real, which is why she was screaming so badly.
Well, she was screaming badly because I do know everything about Jaws, to tell you the truth. She had cables stuck to the side of her, and then we're pulling her left to right. And when she was screaming, she was in pain because they were pulling her too hard. So that's what you got in the movie.
Oh, wow. In the chat, golden shower. What the? Yes, mate. It's just my dirty little perverted mind. Mephisto, did they use some machine to drag her around? Yes.
No, I think it was two stunt people that were pulling her around. I'm not sure. They might have used something, but I think when I was reading the making of, I think they were saying there was two people pulling her left to right. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It's a long time ago since I read the book.
And this is the pulling her left to right. She did look like she was getting pulled about a bit.
Yeah.
I thought when I saw it and I was trying to figure out how they did it, I thought she was like riding on something. The way she jerks from side to side, you know.
Yeah. They pulled her. I'm not sure if they used a boat to pull her across the water, like the shark was actually dragging her. But when she was going left to right really fast, she was being pulled by a cable, and she was in pain. Apparently, she almost done her back in.
Oof.
Yeah. So
I will just say, Picat's done his back in as well. So Picat, get well soon, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Get well, Picat.
Yeah, you're feeling better soon, my friend.
Okay, so yeah, her number's up. And the guy who's on the beach going, I'm coming. That's what I kept saying. I'm coming. He didn't even make it off the beach. Pissed off.
No, he didn't. He just fell asleep there.
Yep.
So there you go.
I
love the transition between this and the next scene. I don't know if you guys remember it.
We will in a minute. Oh yes, it was the horizon, wasn't it?
Yeah. So basically, you have the shot of when she gets pulled under, and you just see the boy bouncing up and down, and then it fades into the sea, and then his head comes into shot, and it's a really good transition.
Yeah,
between each.
When it was on, I just thought, I just knew straight away you'd like it because I liked it. I see these things now, you know. So yeah.
I like this dialogue. Where are the kids? They're in the backyard. In Amity, you say yard. You remember those lines? And he says they're in the
New
yard.
York. He's from New York, isn't he? So he's not local.
Not too far from the car. Brilliant lines.
Is Amity a real place or is it just divided?
No, it's not. It's made up.
Because I used to wonder if Amity had something to do with Amityville.
The house on the hill.
Yeah. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, foreshadowing.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
See, I see all these things now. Foreshadowing. Yes.
I love this scene.
Yeah.
Hendrix sees the remains first.
Yeah.
And then
Because
they see it.
the guy goes to Brody. I've not seen this girl. She disappeared, and her
Yeah,
bag's
to
here.
report her missing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
a
then-
fantastic scene. But it's so well done that you don't see anything, but your imagination can just ride.
Yeah.
By looking at it. When I was a kid, I thought this was one of the horriblest things I've ever seen.
Oh, the crabs.
Yeah.
Bad case. A very bad case.
Very bad case of the crabs. Yes. Definitely needs to go see a doctor. So, okay.
Not sure anyone can cure that.
Shark attack.
Yeah.
This is when Polly was
Typewriters.
Polly was telling Brody that their kids were karate in the picket fences this scene. Don't know if you remember that either.
Notice how they couldn't spell coroner there.
No.
I would just say for the younger viewers, that's a typewriter.
It is indeed.
And on that, the police are coming for me. Okay, so
there's Polly.
Is she
complaining
putting
about the kids?
Polly? You say, is she putting the kettle on?
No, but
okay.
this scene is so amazing because it was done in one take. So it's known as a Spielberg oneer. So it starts off with them outside the office. He comes in. Hendrix is dazed for what he's seen, and so is the boy. And the boy's got a glass of milk.
Yeah, a bit stressed.
And then the camera tracks straight in as he goes into the office as he's typing, and the only cut you have is shark attack when he types shark attack, and then it comes back to the same shot. So it's mostly all done in one shot as he leaves the office. So it's a really good scene.
Mr. Angel in the chat, he misses typewriters.
I think I still got one somewhere.
We all do, mate. We all miss them. We all do. Dalek 451, you think I'm too young not to know what a typewriter is? There's an open-ended question. Okay, so moving on. So it's 4th of July is approaching, isn't it? So there's an influx of tourists.
Yes.
Well,
children.
not yet.
This is what
not
the
yet.
1970s looked like, children.
Yeah, buzzies.
People congregated in the streets once upon a time.
Yeah.
Well, it was it wasn't the 4th of July yet. They were practicing because they had the band that came out.
Oh, is that what it was? Practice.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So they're obviously getting ready. Amity's getting ready for the celebration because then the influx of people come in, and that's how the town survives, don't they? With the that was a mistake, by the way, when it fell, but they left it in.
Yeah, because what he's doing is he's going to paint some beach.
He's going to get Polly to paint it.
Yeah. So that
Polly's
was a mistake of him dropping it.
Yes, it was. But they kept it in.
It worked. Brilliant.
Of course it worked. He says, let Polly do the printing. And he goes, what's the matter with my printing? And he goes, let Polly do the printing. And he drives off. Guys, you don't even know this film, do you? Come on, quote some stuff. Don't make it me the only one quoting. Come on, guys.
Well, you do it every week. No, I was just going to say, so Polly's doing the printing.
Yeah.
And then when she's finished the printing, she's going to put the kettle on.
Probably.
I'm here all week.
You know, kettles are not a thing in the States.
No. And we had a shark attack.
This guy's the mayor, isn't it? And he's just one of these stiff kind of council type.
Nice jacket.
Yeah. I thought that.
Guy on the left looks like Zachary Quinto, doesn't he?
A little bit.
He's Hendrix. This is when they're swimming for the merit badges. So that's why he goes out there to try and stop them, but it's too late. They're swimming.
Immediately, you just see anyone in the water, don't you? And you just react immediately. You know, it's like, oh, what are you doing?
Time Prophet in the chat. Hello, Time Prophet. How do they boil water without a kettle?
I had to use the microwave when I was there.
Were microwaves invented in 75?
No.
Good question.
No.
I don't think so. You could use
No, they
you could
weren't.
use a pot on the stove, Mr. Brown, if you really wanted.
A
I think they were just coming in. Just coming in around the 70s, I think, towards the end of the 70s. I think they were just coming in. I'm not
Yeah.
sure though.
Microwaves and VHS.
Don't mix them up.
So this is a right. So this is called a Spielberg one. So basically, they get on this thing and
It
it
was a
moves.
long shot, yes.
So it starts off with all of them in shot, and then it ends up in a
Ferry.
2-shot with Brody and the mayor. But you don't to watch the scene, you'll understand what I mean. There's like 3 different shots within this one shot, and it's known as a oneer.
Because the ferry thing is departing from the one side of the inlet to the other, and you're having this discussion, aren't you, about?
Yeah. So what a oneer is, it basically it's an unbroken cut of film that has different shots in it. Like, so this one is a wide shot because you can see everybody, and then the 3 of them, the guy with the glasses and the mayor and Brody, walk towards the shot, so you end up as a 3-shot.
Oh, okay.
And then Brody and the mayor walks towards the frame, and it ends up as a 2-shot. So it's like 3 shots in one without breaking the shot, if you know what I mean. So and that was old way of shooting film in the 50s and the 60s, and Spielberg just maintained that kind of way of shooting.
Yeah, it's almost like a landscape painting, isn't it? When you've got like numerous things going on at the same time in an image. Yeah.
I will say the chat is on the money tonight, Mr. Angel. Yes, microwaves are invented in the 50s.
They were invented in the 50s.
Technically, they were invented in the 40s because wasn't it the World War II radar in Blighty? When they installed these big radar dish things, they were wondering why animals were getting cooked near the installation, because apparently it was using microwaves. But pure accident. So, okay, so this is the guy in the brown suit is the doctor?
He's the
or the coroner?
I think he's the coroner.
Yeah.
There's the mayor and Brody, and that guy assists the mayor, but he, in real life, he was the script writer. He was brought in to spruce up the script for Jaws.
Oh, right. Okay.
I can't remember his real name, but he was one of the script writers that they actually got in that made him appear in the movie.
Wow.
And he's been in a couple of scenes.
So like a nice little cameo jobby. Right?
Well, I think he's an actor as well.
Oh,
but,
okay.
he was well known for taking scripts and rewriting them and making them better.
Adding polish.
He was rewriting it as they were shooting it, basically.
Oh, wow.
So,
it was. The script was very tight and sharp in this movie.
So see this shot here. This is a 2-shot, and all happens within the unbroken shot of this shot. So this is how the shot ends. Let me explain one more time. Right, it is a shot that's not been cut, but the actors move in position so that there are different shots within the same shot.
Okay, yeah.
This is called a 2-shot, and we have not one cut in this sequence. There's no cuts in this sequence, yet we have different shots. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it ends in a 2-shot, but it started off with a wide.
You're right.
And it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. If you watch this scene again, you'll understand what I mean. It's
your attention is being
brilliant.
pulled to numerous points in the same shot.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I'll just say to the boys and girls in the chat, this is proper director speak, boys and girls, from a genuine director.
Anyone can learn this stuff. It's there's nothing special
can't.
about what I'm saying. No, but it's true. It's nothing.
It is,
you
mate,
can
it is.
if you look up, go on YouTube and write in Spielberg oneer, and there's a documentary about his oneers, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Seriously.
Mr. Angel in the chat, but the cooking application dates were from the 50s, if I remember correct. I will just say you do not get World War II radar microwave installations that cooked animals to cooking devices in the 50s to Jaws on Nerdrotic. So
this only like cropped up because you said kettle.
Yeah.
Kettle.
Yeah.
I like what Wookie Fever says is I watched Jaws in the summer of its release at the drive-in theatre and I couldn't go swimming for a year. Everyone identifies.
Everyone says that, yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's an indoor pool, when you know there's no way of a shark getting in there. I used to think the section of the wall of the pool underneath opened up and a shark would swim in. That's what I used to think. I was that paranoid about it. I know exactly what he means.
Do you remember the line on this scene? The famous line he says to Brody?
Barracuda.
Anyone? That's it. He says.
Well, to me, Barracuda is something else, but there you go.
He says, if you say Barracuda, everybody says what? But if you yell shark, we got a panic in the hands on the 4th of July. That was the line he says.
And also, Barracuda is a sexual act, but there you go.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yes. Time Prophet again's on. I will say, Time Prophet last week in the chat was on fire. And there was one comment he put in. He absolutely pissed me. So I will just say, here we go. So, Time Prophet in the chat. When do we get to see the, I'm assuming, monolith?
Is it in this film?
No. What are you talking about?
Well, it's Haywood Floyd on the left, isn't it?
Oh, 2010 reference, of course.
Yes, it is.
We got there eventually. Okay, so right, moving on.
Mrs. Kittner's son.
Do you know what I really like here? There's no tattoos anywhere.
No, thank God.
And mobile phones.
I hate tattoos from women.
Yeah, nice to see no mobile phones. Yeah.
Alex Kittner, your hands are going to prune, she says. And he goes, can I just go out in the water one more time? And she goes, yeah, 10 more minutes. And it's like, no, you should never have let him go out in the water. Yeah. You should not have let him.
Going back on my previous comment about not getting this on Nerdrotic, Time Prophet, in 1945, the heating effect of high-power microwaves beam was accidentally discovered by Percy Spencer, an American self-taught engineer from Howland, Maine. You do not get that on Nerdrotic.
Valuable information.
Yeah, well done, Time Prophet. You can come here anytime, mate. So 10 more minutes.
Yeah, this is so funny, this scene.
Yeah, because a guy comes up, starts speaking to him, and looks over his shoulders.
Yeah. I don't know what you was talking about.
Oh,
and that's bad hat Harry. That's some bad hat Harry. And somebody actually named their production company after that.
I was going to say that, yes. The guy who did House.
Yes. I can't remember his name. Shaw? Something.
Brian
something
Singer.
Shaw. Yeah. No, Brian Singer, he's got a different company. He's got Bad Robot. But
no,
Bad Hat Harry.
No, Brian Singer is Bad Hat.
Oh, is he? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Of course. Yeah, Bad Robot is JJ, isn't he? Yeah, you're right.
Jar Jar, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
we know about you, Chief. You don't go in the water at all, do you? And that's when he says, that's some bad hat, Harry.
Yeah.
And he goes off.
Because I didn't know that up until House.
I didn't know that was a topless beach.
Yes. So he's looking for his dog.
Yeah, Pippet.
Dog's gone.
Oh, it's always harrowing that. I hate that. I just hate it. You know, the idea, even though you don't see anything happen to the dog, it just doesn't come back.
The mighty Stephen Amore in the chat. Brian Singer, he's one of those naughty Hollywood boys, right?
Very naughty.
Yes, he is, apparently.
He's a very, very naughty boy.
Screwed his career. Silly boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very naughty boy, isn't he?
Oh, poor old Alex Kittner's going to get it.
Get your limbs out of
Even today, I still don't understand how this film got an A. This film should have got an AA.
Okay.
Sorry. You had U, A, and X in those days. And so U is Universal, A was PG, I think. and double A was
Alcoholics Anonymous.
15. Yeah. And
It's
X
only the
was
Robert
X.
Shaw thing that's bad, really.
Yeah. I mean, this, as I said, kids went to see this film with their family, and it's like this is almost traumatized a lot of people.
Yeah,
I
And
just
that
remember.
should never have got an A. Should got an AA, definitely.
I think I was more traumatized in the working men's club from the passive smoking.
Oh dear! As long as you weren't playing trumpet on stage like Roy Castle, it's not too.
All I remember is small village in the 70s, working men's club. It was packed.
Look at that. That's crazy. That was so horrible. That little kid getting eaten by a shark, and he's just like all blood everywhere. And he's like, well, how could this get a PG? How?
Because you would normally think adult, but is Spielberg saying it's a kid and everybody's fair game? So that just kind of thought, okay, a kid getting eaten. This is grim.
It's shocking. It really is shocking. And that shot where you see him, like leap up and all the blood comes out and stuff like that. You just think, oh, that's just horrible. They would never do something like that today.
No, it is just a sight of blood, though, isn't it? But you don't actually see any kind of gore. It is just the colour of the water.
Yeah.
Time Prophet in the chat. It got PG because nobody likes kids.
But they got after this scene. They had the scene where he was being dragged from a shark, isn't it? So basically, you see him come up like that.
Yep.
And the next scene where you don't see the shark dragging him, but you see him coming down in the water, trying to, and it's just horrible, absolutely horrible.
So, what is special about this shot, which obviously is difficult to grab as a still? Do you remember the shot, Ian?
Yeah, it's
It kind of goes from a long focus to a
track in and pull focus shot. I can't remember what it's called, but I think Hitchcock was the first person to do it in Vertigo. He did it in Vertigo when Stuart was hanging off the
trombone shot.
Yeah.
Well done, Stephen.
Is that what it's called?
No, it's not called trombone shot.
What's his dirty
else. I can't remember what it's called, but it's as I said, it was used by Hitchcock originally.
Yeah,
it's famous for So basically, you're tracking in, but you're pulling focus as well, so it looks like the background's being stretched as you go.
Really effective technique, isn't it?
Yeah. So have you noticed that Brody does not go in the water at all because he's terrified of it. So they have the shots where he's just on the edge of the water, shouting at everybody to get out, but he doesn't try to go and rescue anyone because he has a phobia about going into the sea.
What a great job that is for him to have.
Yeah. Alex? That must be the most terrifying thing a parent could ever experience.
Whereas now, if that was shot today, she'd be Instagramming straight away and tweeting now, wouldn't she?
Yeah. Just lost my kid in the water to a load of blood, lol.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shark fin emoji. Yeah.
Well done, Matthew.
And that shot there with the blood and everything.
It's bad, isn't it? When you think about it, you don't see anything, but it's bad.
You do. That's the point I'm trying to make. You see him. There's the shot you see him come up in the water and all the blood is rising, and then the next shot you see him being pulled, but you don't see the shark. You know the shark is pulling him down, and you hear him trying to breathe. It's that horrible gurgle that you hear him trying to breathe, together with John Williams' music. It's absolutely horrible. That scene.
It's all in your head though, which is the most clever.
No, it's the imagination.
Yeah, but you see it though. You actually see it. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah. You don't see any like dismemberment or anything.
No. Of course not.
Gore, but you see the act happening, but you don't see any. There's no shark teeth sinking into flesh or anything like that.
No. Until we get to Quint.
Bernard Manning in the chat. She should be killed for crimes against fashion.
I was just thinking that, there's
It was the 70s, mate.
one of the most horrific things a parent could see is the fashion that's happening.
So Mrs. Kittner puts a bounty to catch the shark. Yeah.
Oh, is that the woman who's right?
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
the son.
Okay.
So basically, this is jumping in time.
Even the
I would think
a
week. So all that money, if you can catch that shark that killed her son, basically.
Oh, so that wasn't Polly who'd put the kettle on, then?
No, it was Mrs. Kittner. Mrs. Kittner put that in Fields and Streams, as one line says. This scene always makes me laugh because as they're walking down the corridor, Roy Schneider hits his head on the on one of the signs. I don't know if you. That's quite fun.
Happy accident.
Yeah,
I noticed that.
And so this shot is pretty cool as well because the way Spielberg lines it up, that your eyes immediately goes to the mayor because everyone's in a line. Mm-hmm. So you got all those heads in a line.
Yeah, nice perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. So the humans always follow lines in frames. So you got the lines of the window, you got the lines of the head leading towards the mayor, which makes you see the mayor. Yeah, it's quite cool.
There's a very mature-looking Paul Rudd in the middle there.
yeah.
If I may, the main man himself, Darius Munchausen. Hello, Darius. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're looking after yourself. Good to see you.
There's Bad Hat Harry, the white guy with the glasses. That's him there.
On the right.
Yeah, on the right.
God, can I just say something about this film? I'll tell you what, the representation of white people is just amazing, isn't it, in this film?
Well, it is a small town, isn't it? Where all white people live, so there you go.
Can't have that today. Oh, no.
So Michael J. Fox, can you spot him? Just of the left of screen.
What are you referring to? I'm just trying to.
The guy in the blue shirt.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Michael J. Fox.
Oh, God, yeah. It's about his height.
No, I was looking at the guy who's in a white shirt on the far left.
Oh yeah, he looks like an alien.
Yeah, alien.
Yeah, it looks like an
alien. Stephen Amore. Matthew, do you want to read that?
We follow lines because we are British.
Yeah.
He's on about
we do, mate. Yeah. Well done, Stephen. Well done.
See, so basically you have all the lines and the lines lead to Roy Schneider. So your attention is basically on Roy. It's a well-composed frame, that shot.
So is Roy saying we've got a shark problem? I don't want the beach.
No,
open?
Basically he's saying everybody's asking him, are they going to close the beaches? Because if they do close the beaches, then they can't do business, like they can't sell stuff like that, and they're all shouting at him. And one lady says, "We want to know if you can close beaches," and he says, "Yes, we are." And then the mayor corrects him, saying, "Only for 24 hours." And Roy Schneider says, "I didn't agree to that." So obviously the mayor is he's ignoring the actual danger of the shark. All he wants is money to come into the town so the town will survive. He's ignoring the fact that the town is in danger. There's a shark roaming around. So
Time Prophet in the chat. I was looking at the guy in the green shirt who was burnt in the Falklands War. You mean Simon Weston? So I will do this for you.
Looks
a bit like him. Yeah.
We've got a really petite Marlon Brando, Michael J. Fox. Simon Weston, and there's my nan sitting down there beneath the brown jacket on the left there. That's my nan.
There's Olive from On the Buses. Can you see her?
Oh my God, she's there. What's she doing there? It is Olive.
I would just say she died recently, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. Yeah. Died in a fire. Terrible. And you also got that guy that's next to Michael J. Fox. He looks like that guy in Status Quo, doesn't he?
Oh, there's one of the goodies. One of the goodies is sat there as well. I think it's Graham Garden.
Oh, right. Excellent.
Next to Simon Weston.
Isn't there? There's Rick Parfitt, isn't there, from Status Quo?
Yeah, that's him. He's there.
There's one of the Scousers stood next to the guy from Status Quo.
Or Pedro
excellent.
Pascal with his glasses on.
Yeah.
I'll just say you don't get this on Nerdrotic. Moving on.
Oh, that was a good slide. I like that.
Yeah, it was.
A lot of value in that.
And then
Quint.
Blackboard Fingers. Oh, God.
no.
Well, right, okay. I'm going to humour him. Time Prophet Starsky.
Maybe it wasn't.
Maybe.
Yeah. There's Zephram Cochrane like peering over.
Car Keys and Clutch.
Yeah. Car Keys and Clutch.
Do you remember that? Car Keys and Clutch. Okay.
I don't, but it sounds great. What was that from?
No, that it was. That's what we used to call it at school. Starsky and Hutch. It's Cockney rhyming slang. Car Keys and Clutch.
It sounds like a Benny Hill parody.
Probably.
In my mind, it was. Okay, so this is Quint doing his nails.
Oh, that's Quint.
And basically, he just says to them all that, you know, he's the only one that's capable of catching the shark, but he's not gonna. He values his life more than $8,000, whatever it is, dollars.
$3,000.
Yeah, he'll catch him for that amount of money, but he wants more. He was saying
10,000.
Yeah, and he says that everybody knows that he is the best. So you know, if you want something done, come to him. That's basically what he was saying to them.
Stephen Moray, Robert Shaw wrote books. Then Stephen says, see, this is a British thing. Top shagger, Robert Shaw had loads of kids.
He did indeed.
Dirty old man.
Stephen, do you know how many kids he had? Parts, could you tell us?
Well, one of them was in the stage play, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. I saw the stage play and I loved it.
I do want to see that.
That's fantastic.
Stephen Moray again. Robert Shaw spent a load of time with actual shark fishermen and based his speech on one in particular.
Yeah, so basically, Robert Shaw based his character on a real guy that lived in Martha's Vineyard, which is that place, and the guy, it's the guy that plays Ben. What's his name?
Ben Down.
The one, the one, you know, the head that comes out with the missing eye.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
So that guy, he based his character on. So he's in the film.
Oh,
when you see him in the film,
very good.
You'll see that he looks a bit like Robert Shaw. Robert Shaw modeled himself on that guy.
That was top trivia, boys and girls. Okay.
So in the credits, in the end of movie credits, the guy that played that head that pops
Ben
out.
Gardner, that's it. In the film,
it's quoted as the head in the credits.
No, he plays the guy that Robert Shaw based his character on, that lived on that island, is a real guy. And in the film, the character that he plays is Ben Gardner. He's not even an actor; they just put him in the film. So if you look at Ben Gardner, he's in the bit where everybody's trying to get the sharks, where they all come and all the boats are there trying to capture the shark. He has some line in it, but when you see him, he looks like Robert Shaw.
Time Prophet in the chat. Ben Down and Phil McCavity. Time Prophet, you're welcome.
Only if you ask nicely.
Yeah. Beach closed.
Beautifully written or painted signs.
Yeah, that was done by Polly. Polly, let Polly do the signs.
And then she made a cup of tea, yes.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Well done, Polly. So what we're saying is Polly is probably the backbone of this film.
I think Polly was in the second one as well. In fact, all the old people that was in that room, you know, the quite Status Quo guy and you know, and everybody else, they were back in Jaws 2, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Beach closed by order Amity Panzer Division.
yeah.
I will say also, Jaws 2 was, I think, if I remember correctly, it was. I think they showed Jaws and Jaws 2 at the Working Men's Club.
I did that
1 week, and then they did Jaws 2. I think probably the following week. It was great.
Yeah,
I didn't like Jaws 2 at all.
Great.
Oh, I did.
I didn't mind it. I liked it. Okay. So Brody's reading up on sharks.
He is indeed.
He's not selecting a new curtains from a catalogue then.
No, from Next.
They have a bit in the book where he sees a shark eating a scuba diver's canister, so and that kind of foreshadows what happens at the end, and with the shark.
Yeah, see, it's all there, isn't it?
Yeah, get out the boat.
Yeah,
You wouldn't want to live in a place like that with that kind of view, where you can watch people being murdered by marine animals, like live.
So
as it happens.
Brody's missus is saying, "Oh, it's only in his boat. He's in his boat."
Yeah.
And then
she sees that shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
And she goes, "Get out there!"
Yeah. It's a nice. It's I mean, not 9 times out of 10 beaches like that are completely safe, but there have been reports. It's very rare that a shark does circle, like an area, and people don't know it's circling the area.
Yeah.
So it has happened.
This shark is the brainiest shark that ever lived, isn't it?
It's one in the 4th film.
Yeah, exactly. The Jaws Revenge. He actually swims all the way to Jamaica to try and get Brody's wife. What a load of crap.
You're joking?
No, that's the story. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's why it's called Jaws the Revenge.
That same shark they killed 3 times.
Wookie Fever 1969. Ben Dover and Pat McGroin. I've never heard of Pat McGroin.
I don't know, but these sound like great comedy duos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is based on because like Peter Benchley, he was saying that it was based on something that was told to him, that there was a shark once that actually circled a beach area because of all the splashing and the activity that happens in the water, and it just stayed there eating people. They eventually got it in the end, but it does happen from time to time. So
the mighty Jacob Ironside in the chat. Hail, mate. Michael, did you hear your father out of the water now?
Yeah, brilliant scene.
Stephen, yes, we do. Hence why I said it. Okay. So a couple yokels are going out chump fishing, aren't they?
Yep, they are.
And this is the missus is the pot roast.
Yeah.
What a waste.
They tried to catch the shark, obviously, because there's a bounty on the shark.
Yeah.
So they try to catch it, but yeah, that was a tense moment as well in the film.
Yeah,
I love when you see you can see the book in his glasses as he flicks the pages.
Oh, there you go.
They're foreshadowing what happens at the end. Yeah.
Dalek 451 in the chat. Mr. Brown, can you see my chats? No.
What chats?
So this is the foreshadowing of the tank.
Yeah.
So it's all there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Certainly is. Oh, it's horrible.
This is the kind of tire thing going out, isn't it?
Dun, yeah. It says, swim for it, Charlie. Swim.
Then the pier goes in, doesn't it?
Yeah, it comes back, and you think it's the shark, but it isn't. It's just coming back.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it wasn't the shark.
Okay. Right, I thought, how does a shark do that?
I think it pulled it, and then it just went away.
Right.
Yeah, because otherwise, if it was attached to that, it would have killed that guy, but it didn't.
And then it's like, whew, close call.
And the entrance of Richard Dreyfuss, and that is Ben Gardner. The guy plays Ben Gardner, and that is the person that Robert Shaw based his character on. So there you go.
Top trivia.
There you go.
Stephen Amore in the chat. Between July 1st and 12, 1916, in which 4 people were killed, 1 injured.
Yeah.
That's going back to, not 1915. Peter Benchley used Jeremy Shaw shark attacks of 1916.
Jersey Shore.
Jersey.
It sounds like Dreyfuss was a bit of a prima donna then.
He was a bit, according to some books, and according to especially when I went to see The Shark Is Broken with Robert Shaw's son. he wrote that. So basically, there's scenes in that play that shows that Dreyfus was a bit of a dick. But and also his uncle was a bit of a dick as well. So he wasn't letting his uncle off light. So yeah.
Time Prophet, I think this one's for you, Ian. I wonder if Richard ate his mashed potato before the show.
Probably. But it was before Close Encounters. So.
Yeah. I will say, if you're a fan of Close Encounters, we did cover that on one of the streams many months ago. So if you want to see more Dreyfus and mashed potatoes. Stephen Amore in the chat. Remember when Jaws was a TV premiere in about 1984 and the excitement of it coming on TV? Yeah.
Must have been when I watched it. Yeah.
Whereas now you wouldn't give a shit about anything, would you?
Yeah, you wouldn't.
5 minutes after you see it.
A certain generation wouldn't.
But the actual quality of the picture that you get now is like 10,000 times better than what you got when ITV originally showed it. You know, because it was all analog at that time, wasn't it? And the TVs were small as well. Actually, 84, you would have got those widescreen TVs that were huge. They had the huge back in it. They were heavy. Do you remember them? Before you got there.
1984.
I think so. I think that's.
They'd have been square. They'd have been square, wouldn't they?
I think they had the first.
What as early as that?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
No, we had when I was living in Leeds at the turn of the end of the 90s, noughties. We had a widescreen CRT. It's fucking massive.
Yeah.
But they still showed it in 4:3 though.
Yeah.
Film, I think. Oh yeah. You missed the sides.
So this was based on the Jersey Shore event of 1916. I'll tell you what, right? I wish they'd feed the cast of Jersey Shore to the bloody shark.
Yeah. And he says to them, you know, can you help me? Can you tell those guys they're overloading the boat?
They're dead.
And then he says, and he tells them, and they ignore him. And then he says, do you know if there's a good restaurant or hotel I can stay in? And they say, yeah, you walk straight ahead. And then there's that famous line where he says, they're all going to die. And he walks off. Richard Dreyfus.
Darius in the chat, giant wood panelled CRT with buttons on the front. Yeah.
Don't make them like that anymore.
Massive. Yeah, no, massive TVs. Can you imagine the electric they consumed?
Well, it was the big tube, wasn't it? When the widescreen TVs first, the big tube, and that's what made it heavy. And those things were heavy, man.
Those things had so much gravity that you had to struggle to not be caught in their orbit, to be honest.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So what's this scene going on?
This is the bit where he's telling Hendrix he needs to talk to the people outside because they're his people. They come from where he lives. And then Hendrix is saying, I don't know them, because they're all coming from all over the place. And then Richard Dreyfuss comes in and says, you know, those people in the boat, they're not going to get out of the water alive. And then he tells Hendrix to go and deal with them. And that's the first time they actually talk. Yeah. And he finds out that he's Hooper from the National Institute. So, yeah, good scene.
Here you go. Stephen Amore. I've done TV repairs in a TV repair shop. That would be a good place to do TV repairs. The CRT tube transforms the voltage up to 25,000 volts. Yeah, dangerous.
My dad used to fix TVs with the tube. He had like a big bag of tubes.
Not a bag of dicks.
No, not a bag of dicks. Not a Rennie bag of dicks.
We miss you, Rennie.
He used to have a big, big bag, and it had all tubes in it and stuff. And those things were dangerous because when you stick them in, they used to light up, didn't they? The tubes. Crazy.
Hopefully, Rennie and her big bag of dicks is back next week.
It's amazing, then, when you think about it. When at that moment in time, when we used to watch TV, it was 15-inch or something like that, really small, and the quality of picture was okay, but it wasn't great. Yet it didn't seem to bother us. We just really enjoyed what we saw. You know?
Yeah, if you were really lucky, you would have a 28-inch TV. If you were really lucky, but it was obviously 4x3, and your portables were like 14 or 15.
Yeah,
Still huge though, because of the cathode ray tube.
Yeah.
We only have ever 20-inch in my house.
Really?
Time Profit. My dad used to fix TVs too. You just had to change the valves.
Yeah. That's what my dad used to do. He used to have a whole bag of valves, and he used to, obviously, if one wasn't working, he would replace it with the ones in his bag and stuff. So,
Lord, it sounds like you're fixing a submarine.
See, again, you don't get this on Nerdrotic. Stephen and Moray in the chat. When repairing TVs, we would discharge the circuit on the back of the CRT tube by putting 2 screwdrivers across each other and push one towards the tube, producing what was a lightning bolt.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Wow.
You should never do that. Should never do that if you want to live. I remember my dad used to have a soldering iron, and and he used to solder things at the back of the TV, put little transformers in and solder it and stuff like that. And
Time Profit, you're right. We do need to play Rennie and Renato when Rennie comes back. Yeah. Moving on, Stream Killer. Okay.
And see,
so they're all.
That's Ben Gardner, the guy whose head got cut off, and that scene that Spielberg picked up.
Ben Gardner, not Ben Down. Okay.
No, Ben Gardner, his name is.
So they're all going out to try and get the fish, aren't they?
Well, yeah, and they get a tiger fish, and the reason why they got a tiger fish is because they're chucking blood on the water, and of course it's going to attract something, isn't it? Yeah, of course it's going to attract something, and it attracted a tiger fish. So there you go. Oh, this scene. Oh,
so autopsy scene, yeah. While they're out chomping and trying. So we got autopsy scene, and they're bringing the body out. What's left of it in a tray?
Yeah, that's what was left.
It's like, okay.
Come on, Matt. Don't let me down. What was the famous lines that Richard Dreyfuss says towards the end of this scene?
I'm sorry, I can't remember. That's not the line. That's not the line.
No, you don't remember it?
I don't.
I've not seen this for 25 years, as I said here.
Yeah, same here. Go on, then.
He says it's this wasn't a boating accident. It wasn't propeller. It wasn't any coral reef, and it wasn't Jack the Ripper. He says, and then he says it's the shark. Yeah.
Dalek 451 in the chat. What is this? A movie review or a 70s technology lecture?
We've gone past the tubes, mate.
Probably both, to be fair. But we do. We
spot the 70s celebrity 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, we bounce off at tangents, don't we? But we get there in the end.
We do indeed.
And I still can't see your messages, 451. Okay, so that's what's left of the the arm, isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't see the head though, because there is a head, isn't there?
Yeah, that line was dubbed though, so this is what happens, because you can tell that the actual sound sounds very different to the way they speak in that scene.
And he goes, "No smoking."
No smoking in here. Thank you very much. And then he says that line.
Yeah. So just let me remove the avatars.
Tiger shark.
Obviously, it's not real, but it looks pretty good.
I think it was real.
Was it?
Yeah.
So they killed the shark?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good, is it?
Animals were hurt in the making of this movie.
So that's real. That's no
Spielberg. Stream killer.
So obviously Hooper knows that. Hooper knows that isn't the shark at all. He knows it's not the shark because of the bite radius is completely wrong.
Time Prophet, will you come on one of these one Saturday? You are more. We would love you to come on one of these one Saturday. Time Prophet in the chat. It's like a brutal episode of Quincy. Yeah. Stephen and Moray would know about that. I used to love Quincy. It's a fantastic program.
And there's Quint. He sees them catching the tiger shark, and he knows that they haven't got the right one. So he's just laughing his head off.
Yeah, Jacob, tiger shark, a what?
Yeah.
Dalek Foff. Yeah, that's a real shark. Oh my God, what were they thinking? Yeah.
Well, it's probably. I mean, they didn't kill it for the film. There's probably just someone killed it, so they just used it in the
I'd
film.
like to think it was they didn't kill it specifically for the entertainment, but anyway.
I love Klugman, yeah.
Fantastic. People of a certain age love Jack Klugman.
Yeah, Quincy.
If you want to see Quincy, everybody, apparently, well, I know Stephen Amore has Quincy episodes on his channel. He's managed to get by the copywriting bollocks. So
until they discover it, then they take it off.
Yeah, but up until that point, if you're into Quincy, Stephen Amore is your man.
I remember seeing the intro to Quincy, and when the title came up, and it said Quincy ME, and I just read it, and I thought I didn't see the dots between one and me at the time. I just thought it said Quincy me. I'm like, do what?
That's what everybody thought as well. It's like Magnum PI. Magnum PI? What?
Magnum Pie?
Yeah, Magnum Pie. What's that all about? Because I think they used that line in National Lampoon's A Vacation, didn't they? At the ending when Chevy Chase had the gun, and he was saying, "Do you know what gun this is? This is a Magnum PI." He says to the guy. So yeah. So there you go.
Time Prophet, you never saw a body in Quincy, correct? Only the lady at the beginning on the credits.
Well, Sam was always doing an autopsy, wasn't he? So what do you got, Sam? You got a couple of contusions, Sam. Yeah.
Jacob in the chat, this is not the time or place to perform some kind of half-assed autopsy on a fish.
And I'm not going to stand here and watch you cut that thing open and see that little kidney boy spill out all over the dock, he says.
Here we go. Romeo, this really is a 70s nostalgia stream. Fair play. The 70s were great. And the 80s and the 90s.
They were all great.
The noughties were the noughties weren't bad.
They weren't. It wasn't bad. It was not as bad as the
last 10 years. Shit.
It was just
the last 10 years.
Didn't know what they were doing, basically. But...
Okay, so
you want to stick your head in there?
Yeah, they're going on about bite size, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, he knows it's not the shark because he knows that the bite range is just wrong to the victim.
Yeah, because he had his measuring tape, didn't he?
Yeah, and he's trying to explain to them that it's not the shark, and they're all happy because they got a shark.
Yeah,
and to be told they have got the wrong shark is not the thing to tell them.
Yeah, why was it only me that spotted Jeremy Clarkson photobombing that last slide?
Let's have a look. Yeah, there he is. He's right there.
There's Jeremy Clarkson in the background, boys and girls.
Biff Tannen on the left there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is where he's telling the mayor, not got him.
And the mayor, obviously the mayor is happy, and then we got Mrs. Kittner comes along and slaps old Roy Scheider in the face.
She must have had the child, a boy, very, very late in life.
No, she well,
just women.
She does. You're probably right there.
Yeah,
unless it was a adopted child or grandson.
Exactly, could have been. Yeah.
Oh, okay, maybe.
She's in her late 60s.
And is that her husband?
I think so. Yes. Brody gets a slap around the face for his trouble because he knew.
And the mayor says, "I'm sorry, Martin. She's wrong." And he says, "No, she's not." When he walks off, sad.
Stephen Morrow in the chat. When 70s and 80s, when Tizer and Wagon Wheels
loved Tizer.
Were the real deal.
When I was a kid, that Tizer was so full of sugar, it was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Wagon Wheels were so big, you had to grin to get them in.
Yeah.
I remember that ad. Oh my god.
Whereas now they're just like fucking
so many
little tiny fucking biscuits. Yeah.
Now they shrunk them, didn't they?
Everything. Especially the Cadbury's cream eggs. And they'd do it like by a centimetre or a millimetre each year and hope you won't notice.
Yeah, and grammage. Dirty bastards, aren't they?
I'm sure Twix was bigger than it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, well, there's the fact that we've grown and they've shrunk them as well.
Mm.
They're trying to gaslight us. That's what they're doing.
What's the difference between Jordan and a Twix?
I'm sure you're going to tell us.
You only get 2 fingers in a Twix. Moving on.
So Jackie Chan there on the left, right there. Do you see him?
Oh yeah, in the
Blue shirt.
powder blue coat.
See, there's so many stars that in this film that we didn't realize there was all these stars in the
Cost a
film.
fortune, this movie, in casting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is when his kid copies him, innit?
Yeah.
This is very
funny.
sort of Close Encounters, isn't it? This thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what this reminded me of?
Don't know.
2010.
Yes, definitely. I'll tell you what, that dresser could show a bit more sympathy, couldn't it?
Could, yeah. Could. Actually, when I was a kid, I did fancy Ellen.
Great actor.
I did fancy Brody's wife.
Yeah, I thought she was cute as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Roy Scheider, brilliant, just brilliant.
Apparently, Samuel L. Jackson was in the Yellow Jacket. We missed him.
Oh,
was he?
Oh my god!
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Samuel L. Jackson, where?
To the left.
No, that's not a black man. That's a white geezer.
Somebody get that motherfucking fish out of fucking jetty.
No, that's terrible. Richard Dreyfuss comes in with a tie.
Yeah,
I love the scene where he goes, "Is anybody eating this?" And he starts eating the food on the table. But it was quite fun.
Was that improvised? It just felt like it was
Probably.
improvised.
Probably.
Because
they were writing.
He was just smiling there, was it? He's just Brody's just there, grinning from ear to ear.
But
I know he's a good actor, but is he that good that he can just?
You know, Richard Dreyfuss, he has he's got a huge ego, but you can't fault the man. I mean, he's been in some great movies. He was in
Stakeout.
Stakeout was fantastic.
It was.
The Goodbye Girl was
Close Encounters.
Won an Oscar for The Goodbye Girl, and he was brilliant in that.
Stakeout 2.
No, that was shit. Yeah, it was shit. Close Encounters, he was amazing in. You know, he's just a really good actor, but you know.
This is foreshadowing Close Encounters.
Potatoes. He's not eating potatoes there. He's not eating potatoes. He's eating meat. So.
He's eating potato gratin.
Brody's son's going to hit him on the arse with a table tennis bat in a minute.
Yeah.
Stephen Amore, a lot of stuff is improvised in films that are good. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, as I said, they had to try and make it more family, movie friendly. And if you read the novel, it really isn't. So,
So Brody's pouring some wine. The other adults in the room are having a glass. He's having like a half pint glass of wine.
Yeah. He says, "Do you want to let that breathe?" And he just keeps pouring. Yeah, just keeps pouring. I love this scene. I love this.
This is the they're going to do. They've had a little bit to drink, and they're going to do
cuts the shark in half.
They're going to do the autopsy.
This is a great size.
He goes, does he go? Are you allowed to do that? He says, "Yeah, of course, I'm the chief of police."
Yeah. And then he pulls, he pulls out. So what does it say? Number plate. He didn't eat a car, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite cool.
Yeah,
it's a really good scene because you don't see him cut the shark, but you see Richard Dreyfuss having such a hard time getting that knife across that shark's belly and pulling out stuff, and it's just all on Richard Dreyfuss. The smell and everything. He obviously
the white stuff
very
that comes
well,
out,
comes out and stuff. Yeah, so it's a really well performed scene.
Stephen Amore in the chat. Mrs. Brody gets banged in the book.
Yes,
and Jaws gets an extra meal.
Yes.
Moving on. So we're going out.
There's that famous line in it. What's the line that he says in this? He says, "It's only an when he talks about the island." Can't remember the line. It's only an island if you look at it from the sea, or something like that. Do you remember that line, guys? No.
Moving on.
Okay.
No, obviously.
Oh, God. Right. Okay. So he's got all the.
Yeah. Can you get the late show on this thing? He says
Because
to him.
Hooper is a rich. We find out that Hooper is a rich boy, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, it's quite a fancy boat, that, isn't it?
Yeah. He says, "Are you rich?" And he goes, "Yes." And he goes, "How much? What, me or the whole family?" He says. There's Ben Gardner's boat.
Yeah. And shark
shot.
bite.
Yeah.
That's a nice shot, is that?
Mm. This is the bit that made me jump out of my seat.
Jacob Ironside, I'm not drunk enough to get on a boat.
Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are.
Cockney's in. Hello, Cockney. So Hooper is going to have a look at the boat.
Yeah. And he finds the tooth.
And nothing but the tooth.
And he also finds something that he shouldn't have found, which is Ben Gardner's head.
Because he
severed from his body.
Yeah, he's just about to lose the tooth, isn't he?
Well, he loses it because he sees the head, doesn't he?
Yeah. Miss Martin Mooses is in.
Hello. Fraser, how you doing?
And then the Michael Myers head comes out.
It's Ben Gardner. That's what it is. Ben Gardner's head.
I remember in the working men's club when I could just about see this through the cloud of blue cigarette smoke. I fucking jumped out of my skin when this came out.
Yeah. It's always in the last place you look, isn't it?
Well, it's that bit,
It
and
is.
then they have the close up of the face with the eye missing. That's the thing
you mean
that really
you mean that one?
That bit. Oh, that's so horrible.
So he paid for that, is what you're saying.
But that was a very brief shot, though. In those days, you couldn't take a still of that. In those days, you saw that scene, and it's just embedded in your mind, isn't it? And it's like, it's horrible.
Like
you go.
It's like those dream sequences in American Werewolf in London.
Oh God, yeah.
Mr. Angel picking apart the plot. I always wondered, how did the shark get this guy while he was in his boat?
He fell off. He fell out the boat, obviously. And I guess
managed to get back into the boat.
Yeah, and he got chopped in half, got swallowed, and then he obviously didn't swallow the head. It just left it. I don't know, but it doesn't matter because it's such a great scare, isn't it? When you see this scene,
it is. So we will forgive it.
Helps the scene a bit as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, so we'll forgive it. Yeah.
He drops the tooth.
I just wish I'd been in the cinema when this film was first showing and just hearing all the women screaming at that scene. It would have been great.
All men.
All men.
The thing in those days, right? When people got scared, they'd all gasp, and then 2 minutes later they were all laughing. Do you know what I mean? So it was that kind of
much like one of these streams. Yeah,
it's the release of the adrenaline followed by the dopamine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, much like one of these streams.
That's why we all go. That's why we all see these things. Is for that duality between the two. The horror of a scene followed by the it's okay, it's not real. That feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And then
I love the bit when he's in his mask and that face like pops out, and then he's like he can't scream, can he? Because he's underwater, but he's kind of
yeah. This is the famous another Spielberg one. It's all done in one shot. There's no cuts within this scene at all.
Yeah.
Done in one.
No hair gel either.
Ends in this 3-shot. Want them hung up by the Buster Browns.
With the shark fin that's
it's been painted.
That's the correct proportions as well.
Yeah. So it's a great scene.
Why does she think that shark's going to help her? I don't understand.
Yeah. Amityville. Amityville Horror, Amityville Island.
Yeah.
Those beaches will be open. I can't remember what he said there, but
Yeah, something like that. It's the biggest, our livelihoods depend on this, blah, 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 blah.
I love his jacket with the
anchors.
Anchors on it.
Yeah.
Sharp, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wonderful montage scene here.
Yeah.
We're trying to get help.
Yeah.
For people to see, and this is where all the people from the mainland comes in to
This is
MIT.
where the
But this is
where
real
the dinners
shots
are coming in. Yeah.
Yeah. They shot
shark
all this.
baits. This is where the shark bait's coming in.
And then I think the next scene you got Peter Benchley pretending to be a newscaster. I think after this scene.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's
trivia.
Peter Benchley with the glasses. Yeah, with the glasses.
Look at that! Not one-eyed beast person.
Yeah. Nobody's going in the water as well, but they've got the boats out.
Yeah. That's it. There's Peter Benchley right there.
Okay.
Yeah. He wrote the book. Yeah.
That's the guy who wrote the.
I met Winchester.
Yeah. I love it in the 70s where they used to have their collars off on top of their jackets.
Yes. For Dalek in the chat, I can see that you are going to ignore this particular problem until it swims up and bites you in the ass.
Yeah. Great scene.
Yeah, mate. Then Snail Messiah, hail, new name. The scene where this guy is eaten by the shark and grabs the air tank is set up for the game Fallout 4. Nice little Easter egg.
I don't play computer games, so I'll take his word for it.
Yeah. Nice trivia, though.
I've only played it Fallout 3.
Good to see you, mate. Nobody's going in the water.
Yeah. But I've just put my suntan on. He's like, get in the water, you idiot.
Again, nice perspective shot.
Unfortunately, it was freezing that day. So, yeah, it was so cold.
It was a bit breezy by the look of it.
Yeah.
Judging by his nipples, I think you're right.
And then you go. Yeah, nipples.
That's hilarious.
Whereabouts was this shot? Does anybody know?
Martha's Vineyard.
The location of that, I don't know where it is.
It's in America. It's oh god, I don't know if it's west or east. I don't know, but it's a small little town.
Yeah,
right. Looks nice.
You can go. You can get. A lot of people visit it because of Jaws.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they've.
But the residents hated them. The residents wanted them out, and when they did the second one, they had to build them something for them to come back again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Stephen, New England.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
the old
is there, didn't he? No.
The old one's shit. So nobody's in the water.
They are.
Good perspective shot. Have you seen how the wave just goes off to the bottom right? It's all nice perspective, isn't it? Yeah. All lines of where your eyes go.
Helicopter.
Stephen Moray named Martha's Vineyard as it's connected to one of the presidents who liked the place. Okay.
Oh, I see.
This is Brody's kids, isn't it?
Yeah, take the boat into the pool? I can't remember and he goes, that pool's for old ladies. He goes, look, just do it for the old man. Just take the boat in there, he says to him.
Ironically, almost signing his death warrant.
Yeah, exactly.
Stephen Moray, New England is a great place for whites. They like cold water, so Jaws' revenge is nonsense. It's too much for them.
Yeah.
Lilith
but it wasn't a real
shark. Tropical, totally tropical, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're still looking for sharks, and this is this where he said he's
Pleased to open the, he's just telling everybody it's safe and it's a nice time. You come, and
So he's getting it from the creator of the actual story.
He is indeed, yeah. Peter Benchley's interviewing him.
So it's a nice little cameo, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Oh my God, shark! And it wasn't. It was a cardboard scene. Those kids play that trick.
That's an iconic scene, isn't it? With the guy blowing the whistle.
Yeah.
Or is it that guy who's the swimmer now?
I don't know.
Matthew?
No idea.
You know that guy who's winning the women's.
Him, you mean?
Yeah. Bit of politics there. So the panicking, which is obviously splashing the water up, isn't it? Creating turbulence.
Right. Those kids in it.
He
made me do it. He made
bastards.
me do it.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I remember seeing that little bit there and thought, like, how stupid must those kids be, or fearless? Must they be knowing there's a shark? Like,
yeah, but there are people like that in real life. They would do that,
Yeah.
So.
I think these the guys in the chat really do like this film. Jacob, he made me do it. Then Dalek, he made me do it. He taught me into it. He also told me to jump off a cliff, but there you go.
Not many cliffs around there, though.
So they're all back on the beach.
God,
Pulling them out. Yeah, in out. And then shark.
Except no one sees it.
With his kid playing in the foreground.
It's too late. He cried wolf.
Yeah. I remember back in the 70s in the Flea Pit Working Men's Club thinking, oh, God, here we go. I would just say good night, Snail Messiah. It was good to see you. Hope to see you again. Sleep dreams. Sweet dreams. Let me get rid of that. There we go. So the kids see the shark and they kind of panic a little, don't they?
Great shot.
And then, yeah. Just Brody's kid just paralyzed with fear. Stephen Moray, I'm assuming that's Michael Crawford in the boat.
Was it? Let's have a look.
Just a little bit. Will he be singing Phantom of the Opera? Okay. So Brody's kid, paralyzed with fear. Girls on the beach, not on the mobile phones.
Not on Instagram.
Yeah, and then the fucking leg got me. Still good though.
Yeah. Oh dear. That's not good.
It isn't. So they get Brody's kid out of the water. She thinks Mrs. Brody thinks he's dead, but he's just paralyzed with fear, isn't it?
He's in shock.
Yeah, he's in shock. Time profits, some mothers do have them, yeah.
Do you know the mistake in that scene? Oh, sorry, I went for a pee, but I'm back now. But you know the mistake where the leg gets bitten off, don't you, guys?
Bear with me.
Is it the wrong leg?
We'll go back.
No, it is the leg has shoes on its foot, but when he was in the boat, he didn't have any shoes on his feet. He had bare feet. So.
Time profit in the chat. People getting legless on the beach. Yeah. See, again, the white man's getting it, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, there was hardly any black people on the beach, wasn't there? I never saw any black people.
It was all the whiteys getting killed, though, isn't it?
It's not even a token, is there?
Yeah, it's all the whiteys getting killed.
Today,
So
Hooper would have been black today if they made.
Yeah. So the representation is not particularly good, is it?
Yeah, and Brody would have been a woman. So there you go.
Lesbian.
Yeah, with blue
And
hair.
Mrs. Brody would have been Mrs. Brody, and Mr.
Yeah,
Brody
exactly.
would have been Mrs. Brody, and the kid would have been adopted or donor.
That's right.
Trans.
Yeah. And
This
he's
is a
crying.
great scene. Yeah. His kid just sat there in the sand crying. Oh, that is a great scene.
Mm.
Dermot's in. Hello, Dermot.
Quaid.
And he's looking out to sea. There you go. Stephen Amore in the chat. Brody would be a woman in a wheelchair.
Probably.
Highly effective against the shark, yeah.
Probably.
It's just laughable, isn't it? Just laughable. And yet they think... Anyway, moving on.
Oh, the Oscars are on tonight, isn't it?
Is it really?
The Oscars should be going on now.
Mm.
Spielberg's nominated for 7, isn't he? What is it? West Side Story.
Good Lord. Come on.
Yeah.
Not the Razzies.
No, I saw West Side Story. I didn't think much of it. But there you go.
It's all just virtue signaling awards. That's all it is.
If you're going to put Hispanic people in speaking Spanish, put
without any
subtitles
subtitles. Yeah.
That looks like Matthew Lillard in the middle there.
Yeah.
So what they're saying here?
Basically, she's saying, he's saying, will you take him home? Obviously referring to his second son. She says, what, back to New York? And he goes, no, back here. Because she obviously thinks that he's thinking of quitting his job and going back to New York. And he's like, no, I'm not. Just take him home.
Stephen Amore, Sunday night, isn't it? Yeah. And if you're in the UK, peeps, did the clocks go back?
Yes, they
forward?
do. They go back.
Right.
So we lose an hour.
And it gets light.
Yeah. So that's going to happen in an hour's time, boys and girls.
We're going to go forward in time.
We are.
And basically, Brody's saying, sign it so that Brody can get so that Quint can get his money so he can go and kill the shark. But he's hesitating.
Because he's just mumbling, isn't he?
He's an idiot. He doesn't want to face the fact that there's a shark out there.
Yeah, and he fucked up. Yeah. Wookiee Fever 1969. Oscars can piss off.
Yep. No one cares about that shite anymore.
Representation.
Only Hollywood cares about it.
Yeah. Representation. Any opportunity to say representation?
Where's that come from?
That comes from
Gary on Nerd
Gary.
I just piss funny.
Where's he get it from?
I think it's just one of them little quirky things that he just made up and he just stuck with it, and it's great. Representation. I could just say that all night.
Here's swimming with bow-legged women.
Yeah. So he's made this drink as well, and Roy's taking drink and he just spits it in the.
Yeah, because it's awful.
Yeah.
I like Brody's place though. Look at it. He's got cans everywhere. He's got shark teeth everywhere. It's crazy.
Quint.
Sorry, Quint's place. Sorry.
Yeah.
I always really used to love the police outfit from the 70s.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Cool colours and cool badges and cool aviator sunglasses.
Basically Quint is taking a piss out of Richard Dreyfuss's character because he's saying he's rich and he doesn't know anything. And he's got hands, he's got money hands, and he gets really pissed off. And so they don't like each other from the start, obviously.
Mr. Angel in the chat. The Oscars are lame, nothing but a little club patting each other on the back for doing a lousy job. blah, and proud of their representation.
Mm.
I could just say that all night. Moving on. So this is his shark cage, isn't it? MC has obviously been out.
Yeah, it says
Hail,
you
MC.
shark. Was it cage goes in the water? You go in the water.
Yeah.
The shark's in the water.
So these guys didn't like each other in real life.
Well, apparently, according to the book and according to the play that I went to see,
yeah,
it's not that they ended up not liking each other because the film had dragged on for a year.
So
they were like
each other's
seasons in it.
skin.
Yeah, so basically there were points in it where they were just sitting around doing nothing in that prop boat.
Okay.
Most of the time, and they got on each other's nerves. And
right.
and Robert Shaw would always say to Richard Dreyfuss, you know, you can't act. Basically, you have to sit on the floor just to get to say one line, which is ridiculous.
Jeez,
you know. And he would take the piss out of him all the time. So there you go.
So this is Mrs. Brody saying, "Come back."
Yeah. There's
And
that wonderful shot there.
Yeah. I'll put the avatars on as soon as I do that. Sorry. There you go.
Yep. They're driving into danger. That's what that shot says. And you got the wonderful Amity theme.
Yeah.
From John Williams there.
Yeah. Again, John Williams, amazing.
Yeah. And they weren't too far from the shore. It just looked like they were out at sea most of the time, but they weren't. They weren't too far. They were just right outside it.
I say again, I think if the chat is quoting verbatim these lines, they obviously like this film. Mr. Hooper, I'm not talking about this pleasure boating or day sailing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about sharking for a living, he says.
Yeah. Again, such a very nice shot. How you've got the fishing rod going off the screen and you've got Dreyfuss in the triangle area.
It's funny because there's this is the famous scene where he crushes the can with one hand.
Yes.
And he crushes his cup. But in those days, cans were really hard to crush.
They were?
Yeah. Today it's
like
quite
that?
light. Yeah.
Like that? Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, that's funny. That scene's funny. But it was, you know, the guy I was telling you about, the guy that's in the film. He's the one, he was brought in to bring some humor. So he was the one that made up this scene with these two.
Great.
And another scene where he kind of pulls a face, Dreyfuss. So I can't remember the other scene. So he's one that's sticking humor into it.
Yeah. Stephen Morey, Stephen Williams ripping off Straczynski.
Well, he was influenced by him. I wouldn't say he ripped him off. Everyone's influenced by everyone, you know. So
yeah. Then he says, Stephen, rule of thirds, well done. Yeah, rule of thirds done well. Yeah.
Yep, rule of thirds.
Okay, so these are the compressed oxygen which get knocked about and
foreshadowing again.
Yeah.
You screw around the leaves, Martin, they'll blow up, he says to him.
Very good, very good, very good. Romeo, good to mention West Side Story in this stream, a film with plenty of sharks.
Yeah.
Was it bad?
It wasn't bad. It was just a pointless exercise because obviously it's kind of like the original. So it's just for me, it was just a pointless exercise.
Right,
I went to see it because
I
went to see it because of Spielberg, and you know it's well directed and all that. But I just came out of the film thinking, well, what was the point?
I would just say, Mr. Angel, good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Same to you. Have a great weekend. Thank you. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So he's trying not practicing.
Yeah. And meanwhile, that thing's going click, 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 and he knows something's happening.
And then the pulling the line, and then something is hooked, isn't it?
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking it was a cable, but that was number 2, wasn't it?
No, Hooper didn't think it was the shark. He just thought it was something else. And Quint was saying it was the shark, but then the cable breaks, so we don't know what it. We don't know what. Yeah, we don't know what it was. It might have been the shark, and basically, Quint is telling off Hooper, saying, "You thought it was this. You thought it was that. Don't you ever tell me my business on my boat ever again." He says to him.
Yeah.
You know. So, and he tries to pull it, and it breaks, doesn't it? And that's it smashes him.
So the boat kind of goes off at speed, doesn't it? It kind of jars, and they all go flying.
No. He's basically he tries to snag the line because the line's been pulled by something.
Right.
And he pulls it so hard the line snaps.
Okay.
And then basically Quint says to him, "Don't tell me my business." And then he says that, and then he says it proves nothing. And then Quint says, "Well, it proves one thing, that you college-educated kids can't admit when you're wrong." And then that's when he makes the funny face to him. He walks. It's all done in one shot. So he says that line. He walks forward, and then we're on Dreyfus as Dreyfus makes the funny face, and then Roy Schneider appears, all in the same shot. So it's a good shot.
Time Prophet in the chat. A boat called Orca may as well been called the Titanic. That would have gone down very well, wouldn't it? I'm here all week.
But also, do you remember there was a film called Orca, the killer whale?
Yeah.
A big rip off of this one.
Yeah.
Remember that one? Had Bo Derek. She got her leg chopped off, didn't she, in that film?
I've never seen it, but I know of it.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's
that's when he makes the funny face. Yeah. It's all done in one shot.
Yeah. And he keeps doing it for a few moments, doesn't he? So
yeah, it does. It's quite funny.
Okay. Yeah. So this is where he's chumping.
So this is the first appearance, and this is when the shark worked. So this is one of the very first appearances we actually see the shark's face.
Boom.
As it comes up, yeah. And this is the famous line where he says, "You're gonna need a bigger boat," and he walks in.
And then that's a famous scene, isn't it?
Yeah. That's when he walks backwards into the boat. That's when he says to Quint, "You're gonna need a bigger boat." See, it's all Quint's. Basically, what I didn't realize, Matt and Ian, that Quint. So basically, Hooper was there to study sharks. He wanted to study one of the biggest sharks he's ever seen. That's why he's there.
Yeah.
Right? Brody's there because he wants to stop the slaughter at the island.
Yeah, he wants his beach.
And Quint is there because he wanted revenge on sharks that killed his friend. Because remember when he does the Indianapolis speech?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that until I saw it months ago. I saw this film again months ago. And I realized that Quint was only there for, because look at his boat. His boat's not qualified to take on something of this size.
Not really.
But yet he was arrogant.
Ahab has got to have his whale, as it were.
Yeah, he's very arrogant.
I'm here all week. Okay. So there you go. So the smartest shark in the world, Matthew.
I hope they bought their shark repellent.
Yeah.
That is the special effects, considering that is a mini submarine, is pretty damn good. There's only...
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, there's only one telltale sign, and it's only very, very subtle. And I think it's on this scene where the proportion of its body from behind the fin to its tail does look a little bit kind of large and cylindrical.
Yeah, I think it looks all right.
But other than that, it's very good.
Yeah, I think it
very
looks
good.
Right.
It's very good. Whereas now it'd be all CGI.
Yeah, look at it's huge. That model's huge. But I mean, remember Spielberg was saying that when he was in the Universal Studios, he said when they had the shark thing at Universal Studios, he said, look how good that shark works. He goes, they can make it work here, but when I was shooting the film, they couldn't make the damn thing work at all. So, yeah.
Here you go. Time Prophet. Did you know Robert Shaw, who is a great actor, had Steven Spielberg's permission to really drink in the movie?
That is true too.
Wow.
That is true. He was really drunk.
Time Prophet again. Did you know Robert Shaw was born in Lancashire, England?
That's true too.
Well, we've all got our crosses to bear, me being a Yorkshireman. Okay. And Time Prophet, you're okay. We know what you meant, mate.
That's the very famous line. It's a 20-footer, a 25, all 3 tons of it, he says.
Yeah. And this is going to get his cable gun, isn't it, for the barrels?
So it was. I mean, I think it was. I don't know whether this is in the book, because I said I read the book ages ago, and the idea of shooting it with barrels and trying to keep it up, I think that was a movie thing. I don't think that was in the book at all. I can't remember it being in the book, but that was somebody had the idea on set that if you can't see the shark, then we need something connected to the shark, and it was the barrels. But, I don't know.
Yeah, Jacob here says, get out to the end. I need a picture for scale.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that bit. And he goes, scale my ass.
It really worked with the shark not working, though, because it just added so much more mystery.
Yes, it did.
Stephen Morray in the chat, CGI look fake. They do, mate. It just, while it probably looks perfect for the kind of physics and how it just kind of takes you out a little bit. Even though this didn't look 100% perfect, it still doesn't take you out of the film.
I think someone at Universal wanted to take the film and actually correct the shark with CGI, but they stopped him in the end. I think Spielberg and everybody else stopped him there because you shouldn't touch this film at all.
Yeah, I was thinking that with that scene, that would be 2 hours 4 minutes long. That would be the only scene where I would just kind of do a little bit of nip and tuckery on that top shot.
No, I think you should just leave it alone because it's part of history.
But, yes, I know. But I thought, other than that, it stands up very, very well. It stands up very, very well.
As I said, it's part of history, and
just leave it. Just leave it.
Yeah, just leave it alone.
Yeah, let's not do Lucas. Yeah. So Hooper's getting his transmitter, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Until he wants to track it, and that's another bit because the shark wasn't working. Because remember, there was a night shot, and you see the light in the water, so you know the shark is there. So yeah. He shoots it in the fin. Yeah.
Comment by the Time Prophet right there. Did you know Robert Shaw went to school in Orcadia on the Isle of Orkney? My God. Was Orko the wizard there as well?
I don't know.
With He-Man.
Yeah.
Another great franchise that went down. Oh, man.
So there's a line in The Shark is Broken in the play when the actor that's playing Richard Dreyfuss says, "What the fuck are they doing? We've been here for hours." And he's saying, "Don't they realize that we're cold, tired, and fed up?" And the Robert Shaw character says, "What's wrong with you?" He says, "The crew's been working their ass off 48 hours. They've got salt in their ass. They've got salt in their camera." And he goes, "You're just an asshole. You just," he goes, "you just complain about everything, don't you?" He says, "You're a selfish bastard," to Richard Dreyfuss. Now, I don't know whether any of that is true, but it was in the play. So
they actually made a play about.
Yeah, it's called The Shark is Broken.
Oh, okay. Wow, I did not.
I'll send you some pictures.
Wow. So we
Yeah.
go from, because he's now playing the waiting game, isn't he? So
Yeah.
this is what. Yeah, there you go. Look.
And you see that shooting star as well.
Yes.
Which
I
you haven't
tried
got
to
a
get that, but I
picture
don't
of
think
it.
I don't think I got it.
Mhm.
The Spielberg shooting star.
Yeah.
No, it's a real shooting star. It was.
Oh, is it a
lot of
real
people
one?
Think, yeah, it's a real one.
Wow.
A lot of people think that was put in there, but it's not. It's real.
They caught it on camera. My God.
They did.
Yeah. I didn't catch it, but I saw it.
Mm. That's
So
when
this
they're
is where they
laughing
can,
about his
wounds,
tooth, scars, and all that stuff.
and then his broken heart,
Mm.
and then this is the ship story, isn't it? What's the name of the boat again? The
Yorker.
no, the
Oh
ship
no,
from World War II.
Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Indianapolis. It's meant to be a true story, but what happened was that they had this huge wad of dialogue for Robert Shaw, and Robert Shaw said, "This is absolute shit." And then the guy that I was telling you about rewrote it, and then Robert Shaw said to Spielberg, "I'm going to rewrite it," and then that's when they filmed Robert Shaw's rewrite of the other two. So there you go.
I think I will just say before I do the comment, Stephen Moray in the chat trying to find a DVD for the play, but all I'm coming up with is a couple of off-mins from the play.
I've got pictures from the play. I can
Okay.
zap it to you if you want. I can find it. It's called The Shark is Broken.
Yeah. And then, speaking of broken, Time Prophet, you are a very naughty boy. You know that, don't you? You are a very, very naughty boy.
Excuse me.
Bad is that, isn't it?
Sure,
so the Babel appears with the bleeping. So they're kind of singing shanty.
What should I send?
Dermot McQuaid in the chat. Hello, Dermot. They were actually drunk during this scene.
All of them?
No, just with Shaw. Apparently Shaw was drunk. Yeah.
Good acting.
Apparently Shaw was drunk.
Well oiled.
Show me the way to go home.
Yeah.
Tired, I want to go to bed.
And then the boat gets hit by a big thump.
I like the bit when they hear the whale out in the ocean. It's really spooky.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
That's great.
And then put the fire out.
Yeah.
Then the lights
says
go
casually.
out,
Yeah. All right, so I'll send it to your I'll send it in the spoiler room.
Yeah,
so
okay, and I'll shoot it over to I'll shoot it over to him. Stephen Moray, I will put I'll send you something on Twitter after this, mate, on the DM, mate. Jacob, show me the way to go home. I'm tired, I don't want to go to bed. The clocks have gone forward, by the way, boys and girls. It is now 2:14.
It is 2:14.
Jumped ahead an hour. Oh my God.
So Brody's going to try and shoot the animal. And the engine's not having it. So they're trying to... the engine got pretty fucked up, so they're trying to repair it following day. And then the barrels appear, and then woof, here we go. Stephen Moray, time travel exists.
Won't be surprised.
That was the quickest hour of my life. Now, does that look like a rubber shark? Does that take you out of the film?
No.
No, not for me. It didn't. Then again, I'm old school, so.
Right, okay.
Not for me. That's when he smashes up the radio, doesn't he?
Yeah, because he's making a phone call, isn't he? And then wallop. Why did he do that?
Because he didn't want. He was.
Stealing
He
his
didn't
glory.
want. Yeah, it was selfish. He wanted to kill the shark, all in his lonesome.
And ultimately paid the price.
He didn't need, idiot. He wanted revenge though for all his friends that died in Indianapolis. So
yeah, because there was several hundred, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was a secret mission and nobody knew about it. And they were all in the water and the sharks were just feeding time, wasn't it?
Yeah. He'll never put her life jacket on ever again, he says.
Jacob, that's great. That's just great.
Yeah.
I think Jacob, I think this is probably one of his favourite films. So to try to put some more barrels into him.
But he still takes them down.
Does.
That thing would have been dead though. It got shot by Brody's gun.
Yeah.
Got 2 hoops in it. He got like 6 barrels on it, or 4 barrels, whatever. Thing would have been dead.
Yeah. Movie magic.
There you go.
Getting
Right,
shot.
so I sent the pictures. You should have them.
Yeah. I will do that after the stream. So, so the barrels just pop up and just floats and not doing anything.
Well, basically, the idea is that they would capture the barrels, tie it to the boat, and the boat will drive to the shore, therefore drowning the shark.
Because the water goes back,
Yeah. So, but they didn't bank on the shark being so powerful.
Yeah, a big motherfucker. Dalek 451, you're certifiable, Quint.
Yeah. So he says to him when he smashes the radio.
Then Time Prophet, you can't kill a rubber shark.
I think you can. You can blow it up, which is what they did.
Yeah. So we go. Recover it.
Yeah, and he gets caught in that.
Ah!
Yeah. And the shark's so big it starts pulling the boat around.
Yeah.
But even when the shark did that, Quint still was so stubborn. He still wanted his pound of shark, I guess.
Flesh.
Yeah. And still wanted to drag it in.
Right. So
but
again,
that shark's huge. Look at it. Huge.
So does this rubber shark again take you out? No.
No, not at all. Not for me. I don't know about you, Matt.
No, I still think it looks good.
Yeah, if anything, I think Robert Shaw's Bird's Nest takes me.
Yeah.
Only because I've got one. So they're really throttling the engine up, isn't it? And the engine's not in a good condition.
No. Plus, as I said, the shark's too heavy, but he just wants his revenge, doesn't he? And he was too stubborn.
Determination,
yeah. When I was a kid, I didn't understand any of this stuff at all. I understood when I first saw it. I understood the first half of the film, the shark attacking people on the beach. But then when it got to this scene, because this is the second half of the movie, it's completely changed. When I was a kid, I understood, but I didn't understand, if you know what I mean. So,
I had that feeling when I watched The Last Jedi.
No, the whole movie sucked for me. I don't care what anyone says. All of them sucked, personally, when I look back. Even The Force Awakens sucked.
I thought that was a very good joke, but moving on. So we go 3 barrels.
Sharks coming.
Yeah, 3 barrels. Matthew, did you watch this week?
Watch what?
The film.
Oh, this movie? No, I didn't. No.
Right, okay.
No, I didn't.
You know what? Right.
There's a link in the there's a link in the Twitter if you want to watch it, mate.
Do you know what? Right. It made me wonder, where did they sleep? Because that boat's so small. Where did they sleep?
Did they sleep?
These guys didn't. These guys definitely didn't sleep.
And
But
why didn't they take Hooper's boat? Because it was much better than this one.
yeah, good point. Although Quint probably had to have his way, didn't he?
That's it, yeah.
Well, he was the main man.
Yeah.
Time Prophet, there are only 3 Star Wars movies.
Well, I do include the prequels that Lucas did.
Not
but they weren't great.
Yeah.
Much better than the Disney version, though.
The good thing about the prequels is you don't have to include them if you don't want.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at that.
It looks real to me, that shark.
Yeah, just the slight disproportionate cylindrical back tail part. But other than that, fantastic.
For a little kid, though, I didn't know any different. You know, I just thought that's what sharks look like. But then you don't know if it's not a mutant shark or something, you know.
Here we go. Romeo. Force Awakens is the worst in the sense that it's a beat-by-beat remake of Star Wars. It is. But completely devoid of the charm of the original. The sequels were at least their own brand of shit. See, that's a proper Star Wars fan there. Okay. The engine getting stressed. The end comes quite quickly, doesn't it, really, on this film?
Well, it's strange, right? The scene before that scene where he was telling Brody to move the wheel and he couldn't move it. He said he couldn't move, and then suddenly it was moving.
Yeah.
So it's just weird. This is the bit where he goes, "What can you do with these?" And he says, "Well,
the cyanide thing, isn't it? The cyanide.
Yeah, if I get close, I can pump him through with cyanide." And so Quint had to relent because he knew there was nothing more he could do, really.
Yeah. So
I've got no spit.
Hooper's going in his cage.
Yeah.
There you go. No spit.
And so the history behind this is, and that wasn't even Richard Dreyfuss in there. The history behind this is that the studio hired this couple to shoot a real shark.
They did.
What country? I can't remember what country it was. Australia. And so they got this little midget to go into this cage so they can make the shark look huge. But what happened was that the shark got caught on top of the cage, and it got tangled up in the wire. And so the midget man got away, of course. But that's the reason why Hooper survives in this movie, because of that footage that they had.
Right.
If the shark didn't do that, Hooper would have been killed.
Oh, okay.
So they had to make some excuse how the thing got caught on top of the cage.
Better for it though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Happy accident.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the shark's approaching. Here we go.
That's not Richard Dreyfuss. Stunt guy.
Yeah.
Stunt guy.
And this is the real footage then.
That's right.
This is the mini sub.
Big shark. And also the plastic shark.
So the shark attacks the cage and the spear drops it. Wouldn't you know? God's sake. And then,
big rubber shark.
Dalek 451. Some of the shots of the shark in the scene are of a real shark.
They are indeed.
They are.
Shot in Australia, apparently.
Yeah. And the shark looked. This is it. The shark looked pissed off, didn't it?
Yeah, it got stuck. It got caught up on the thing, but the thing is, you can see the cage is empty, so that's the reason why they had that shot of Richard Dreyfuss swimming off.
Jacob Ironside in the chat asks, "Was it Peter Dinklage?"
No, it wasn't. Peter Dinklage was 5 years old, I think, or something like that, or 10 or 11. So it wouldn't have been him.
Very good, Jacob. So the cage is coming up. Gone. Yeah, because at this point, I thought, okay, I'm not going to make it for the stream, and I'd look on my screen and it said 5 minutes to go, and I thought, oh, So it's almost like the ending just absolutely snuck up from nowhere, because things starts to happen now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As in the big shark, and then
breaks his boat, doesn't it?
So submarine, rubber shark. Does this take you out?
No. It doesn't take me out because, one, when I first saw it, I didn't know the difference between a rubber shark and a real shark. Two is when I see it now, it doesn't take me out because I enjoy this film so much. And I know it's a rubber shark, but that's part of its charm.
Yeah.
Because of the time that it was made in. So it's never going to take me out.
As we've said before, the filmmakers are not taking the piss out of the customers, so we can forgive, but agreed, totally. Time Prophet, was it Tom Cruise?
No, it wasn't Tom Cruise. He would have been what? How old?
Tom Cruise is he 60, isn't he?
No, I don't know how old he is.
I'm
good
sure
for his
Tom
age,
Cruise
though.
is 60, yeah. When are we going to see fucking Top Gun? Stephen Amore, right? So Dinky was already full grown up, except for that chip on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then this is it. I remember seeing this in the Working Men's Club through the blue haze.
Thing is, you can see one of the tooths bending on his torso, can't you?
Matthew, did you like this scene when you first saw it?
Oh, it was awful. I mean, it was a fantastic scene, but horrific. Absolutely horrific.
Yeah.
Never forget it.
It was the compressed oxygen that got him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When Brody tries to save him, and he grabs his hand, but he can't hold on to him, and he just slips down.
Oh, look at that! I just remember seeing that as however old I was. Bad.
Tries booting the nose to try and fend it off, but it doesn't work.
I think it's still bad now. Just knowing the guy going down the deck, just knowing that, because bearing in mind he's seen all of his shipmates get eaten alive.
Yeah.
Oh.
It doesn't take me out of it. I know it's a rubber shark and stuff like that, but it's still the thought of
fucking great scene.
The thought of getting, eating and stuff like that, and it's horrible. It's a great scene, and also Robert Shaw performs it very well.
He does. Jacob Ironside, a mechanical shark going around eating people is pretty scary. It is. It is. And then
really, if he did bite him that way, he would have been bitten in half. That one half would have come off and just stayed on the boat. The other half would have eaten his legs, wouldn't he?
Yeah. So that's what's left. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah.
So the boat's filling up, and then the shark. It's a greedy shark, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, greedy. Wants coming back for seconds. Ooh.
Teeth. Blood in it.
Secret comedy, perfect timing. Time Prophet, I think his teeth are too white.
Mm-hmm.
What do you reckon to that, Matthew? That's
what the shark?
That would shit you up as a 7-year-old.
It did. I didn't see this ending coming at all.
Yeah.
I didn't think this was going to be how they went out. God, yeah.
And oxygen. Throws it in. Then the boat's going down. We're approaching the end of the slide, so Matthew, do you want to give us your thoughts on this film? Your feelings?
Well, watching all these slides has just brought back how awesome it is, and I can hear the soundtrack and the ambient sounds of the movie, like the seagulls and everything as it's happening. John Williams' score, the intensity of what's happening, as like this scene is taking place, you're on the edge of your seat in so many times throughout this film. And this is just another one of those times when Brody's like facing death down right as the shark comes for him. And this film never loses momentum. The pacing is awesome, and it's just perfectly economical with what it does. Even though the shark's barely in the film, it works so bloody well. You can watch it now and know the shark's rubber and it's not CG and it doesn't really move and have the aesthetic of a regular shark, but it doesn't matter at all. You know, you believe it in the context of this film. And the finale to this movie as well is just superb. It's like one of those, it's like watching Alien and Aliens. You know, it's the same principle of after 2 hours you don't feel like you've breathed for 2 hours because you're like your breath is so short because you're not sure what's going to happen. And it's the same almost with this film as well for a lot of this movie. And it's perfect filmmaking by Spielberg and everyone that worked on it as well.
Do you want to give us a mark out of 10?
Oh, it's easily at least a 9, almost a 10, I think.
Yeah, I gave it an 8, but I'm thinking if I'd probably give it 8.5, but we don't do halves. Time Prophet. I think Time Prophet likes this one.
Yeah, it's hard not to give it full marks, really, and it does so much right.
The mighty Stephen Amore, 10. Wookiee Fever, 1969. I'm going to say 11. That's a Spinal Tap.
11.5, maybe. No.
Yeah. Jacob, 9.
This is a film that sort of sets the
Romeo.
standard, really. And back in the 70s, it sets the standard. And it's so sad to see films these days can't do anywhere near as good as this.
As good as this, yeah.
You know, with
Romeo
the technology and resources they have, they can't touch it. And that alone tells you how amazing it is.
Yeah. Romeo, 9 out of 10. The godfather of shark films. Agreed. So, Ian, your thoughts, closing thoughts?
Oh, it's just it's a classic movie, isn't it? And it's well directed, well shot, well performed. The amount of trouble they had making this movie, you know, it's a miracle they actually, completed it.
Yeah.
And the worst tragedy of it all was that Spielberg wasn't even nominated for Best Director of that year for the film.
Crazy.
He wasn't nominated. Everything else, they were nominated for visual effects and photography and stuff, but Spielberg was not nominated. Because obviously the Oscars are very biased and also films make a lot of money. They don't consider them in those days. They didn't consider them. In fact, if you look on YouTube, there's a video of Spielberg when he was really young, together with his friends, and they were waiting. They were watching TV, waiting for the nominations of the Oscars, expecting to get nominated, and he didn't get one. And you can see how disappointed he was. So there you go. It's a great movie. I think it's one of those movies. Obviously, it's gone down in history. People love it. I love it. And I hardly know anyone that doesn't like it. Yes, some of the generation of today will watch it and go, "It's a rubber shark. Oh, how stupid is it?" Blah, blah, blah. But they don't have the understanding of people like us who lived that era and sat in the cinema and enjoyed it for what it was. So there you go.
Yeah, I know that Dalek is a lot younger than us, but this guy knows where it's at easily. 10 out of 10.
It really is almost a miracle that Spielberg didn't quit, that the odds were so against him and making this film. But, he pushed on, he kept on with it.
Ian, no choice.
Ian, do you want to give us a mark out of 10?
It's 10 out of 10, isn't it? I mean, there's obviously there's loads of mistakes in there, like continuity errors and stuff like that, and you can't blow up a thing with a bullet. It just won't happen. But Spielberg, I remember, Peter Benchley was talking about Spielberg and Jaws when he was on set, and Spielberg said, "I want the shark to blow up by shooting the canister," and Peter Benchley said to him, "That will not happen. If you shoot the canister, it won't explode." And Spielberg says, "Look, if I can hold the audience for 90 minutes or longer than 90 minutes up to this point, I know that I can make them enjoy this ending, even if it doesn't make any sense. And that's what he did.
The rest is history.
Exactly.
Didn't he? Wasn't there a scene in the movie where he had
go.
like explosive tip bullets or something?
No. So the foreshadowing was when Hooper said to him, "If you muck around with these canisters, they're going to blow up," and that was just enough to make the audience believe that if you shoot it, it'll blow up. Yeah.
I seem to remember him with with bullets on the table, and they were like liquid and he was like dropping.
No, that was the second one. That was Jaws 2.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, yeah.
Also, another bit of trivia: when the shark is dying and half of his guts is out and he's underwater, and you hear that noise, that is a dinosaur noise that they used. That he used he used it in a duel. So when the truck falls off the cliff in duel, and it's destroying in slow motions, he uses a dinosaur sound effect, and he used the same dinosaur sound effect in this film, so it's the same sound effect.
It's like poetry rhymes.
Yeah, I'll go back on the behalf of Dalek 451. This is the shot where he goes, "Smile, you son of a bitch!"
Son of a bitch, yeah.
And then boom. There you go.
Yeah. And that's when the audience cheers.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then
remember everybody, this was the first
appears.
summer blockbuster movie ever.
75
in the States. Yep.
Yeah, preceded both and Star Wars.
Winter in the UK though. This came out Boxing Day. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're approaching then. I think that is it, to be honest.
And he says, "What day is it?" Doesn't he? He says
Monday,
that line.
Tuesday,
Monday.
Like yeah.
Well, I just love this ending. It's just really
with the birds feasting.
Yeah.
And he says, "I never used to like the water." And he says, "I can't imagine why." That line at the end.
I think that is it, boys and girls. I will just say to the regulars in the chat, top form tonight, guys. Genuinely on fire tonight. I'm really glad. I'm really glad that we've got a decent choice for you this week, and it's been great for your interaction. If you have liked it, which I know you have, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. YouTube is really shadow banning me at the moment for some reason. Well, I know what the reason is, because I'm not transmitting 24 hours a day. But if you tell your friends about us, if you like stuff like this, it would be good. In the chat, Romeo, Blur Thunder, but Blue Thunder next week. We shall see. I have started doing the slides for Blue Thunder. We will do it very, very shortly, because Roy Scheider in Blue Thunder, again, fantastic. So everybody in the chat, you're wonderful. I will thank the guests. Matthew, good to have you back, mate.
Thank you very much. And I can't believe we got through that entire film without one single fish pun. I'm not starting now.
Nor am I.
And last but by no means least, Mega Geek himself, Ian David Diaz. Thank you, my friend.
No worries.
I always say we'll be back midweek, but we never are. But you never know. We'll definitely be back next Saturday. So if you're in the UK, don't forget the clock's gone forward. You're going to lose an hour. I think that is it. We shall see you soon. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.